What's going on? Wait, am I? Ooh. There we go. What's going on, everybody? My name's Dave McRae. Hey, welcome to episode 91 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. 91. Tonight, Tony and I are watching The Faculty from 1998. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dave McRae from the VoiceMann Studios, Toronto. He's Tony Michael and Leonard Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
You went fucking Micro Machines, man, there for a second. Remember that, dude?
You may notice the audio. It's the Zoom thing. It's the Zoom thing.
Is it good? Or is it not good?
Yeah, no, no, I think we're good. That should take care of it. Let me put myself up there. It should even it out. Yeah, I know. I was going down and then coming back up, and it's
just like when you were trying to hit the post on the song there and just rattling everything off. I was like, dude, did you like do a bump of coke? Like, what the hell?
Well, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do here. So, I gotta do it. Why is my microphone level going so low? It wants to go like it wants to mute me or something. Whoa, it's like taking me all the way down. It's so weird.
Yeah, you drop down.
Yeah, and then I can come back up. Yep, and now it's dropping me down again. I wonder why it's doing that. Let me just take it out.
I noticed one thing. I'm not perfectly framed. I've got like a little border around me.
Do you really?
Yeah, do you see that in the...
A little border around you? You got a little border?
It's like a...
Oh, yeah, you do have a little border.
Do you see that? Like a little border.
Here, let me fix that.
That's fine.
How's that? Is that better?
I don't know. It's on a delay. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Well, whoa. Hey, Mr. Man. There we go. I think that's a little better. Anyways, folks.
You sound good.
Sound good? Yeah. Hey, my name's Dave McRae. Welcome to episode 91 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. This is going to be a great show tonight. This is the last show forever. No, calm down. Calm down.
Never know with the way things are going.
No, it's totally true. I think I gave people a heart attack there. This is going to be the last show, until probably December 7th or 8th, somewhere around there. Yeah, because obviously next Monday I will be away shooting It's Me, Billy. The following Monday will be the very first day after I get back. I have to, that's a, return day, returning all the trucks, the equipment, all that kind of stuff. So I want to kind of just relax that day. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy day. The rest of this week is crazy. This Friday is our load day, so we all ascend upon William F. White International in Toronto, and the big cube trucks come in, and we start loading up all the lighting and grip gear and the camera gear. That's the big load day, and then I'm helping with that, but I'm also running errands. I have to pick up the walkie-talkies, and I have to pick up the Ready Rig and Ronin 2. I think it's the Ronin 2, which is it's a big gimbal essentially. It straps to you and the whole fucking thing, and it's like a Steadicam, and it's for our DP for certain shots. So it's a big day. It's a big day. And then Saturday I'm picking up the minivan. It's a rental. And then Sunday morning, we're meeting at the rendezvous point at 7 a.m. and we're all traveling in a big convoy up to the location, which is about a 4.5-hour drive away from Toronto. It is crunch time, ladies and gentlemen.
Crunch time.
Yes, I did pick up AC/DC's new album, Power Up. I picked up the vinyl.
He's collecting vinyl now.
Oh yeah, look at those old farts. I think my favorite track, I gotta say, is Demon Fire. At least I love the riff. It's just great riff, great rhythm, great beat. I also like Code Red. I like Kick You When You're Down, too. That's a good one. Kick You When You're Down.
I like the name of the title.
Oh, yeah. Through the Mists of Time is pretty good. That's probably their most poppy one on here, at least as poppy as AC/DC can get. Shot in the Dark, of course, was a single they released a couple of weeks ago. It's all right. And I like Realize is growing on me. It's funny. That seems to be everybody's kind of, I love Realize. I'm like, yeah, I like it. It's growing on me now. And Systems Down, I kind of like too. Anyway, I think it's a solid album. It's AC/DC. It sounds the same. Yeah, that's what they do. And it all fucking rocks. So what do you expect?
They're playing here. Define irony, okay? This because this is a AC/DC reference.
Yes.
At the gym that I was working out this morning, I work out at a couple gyms, and one of them is a small little nonprofit. It's like this little tiny gym, which is great. I love those types. It's it's just got this roughness to it where you can slam weights and they don't give a shit.
Gotcha.
Well, they do, but you know what I'm saying. They just
I gotcha.
It's not like Planet Fitness where they're gonna sound the alarm and all that nonsense. But it's connected to a church where the gym is located. And I was just kind of like laughing because the song playing on the system was Highway to Hell. And I'm like, you're literally connected to a church playing Highway to Hell. Like, can you define irony right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's Highway to Hell is great.
It's one of my favorite. That, Back in Black, Highway to Hell, Shook Me All Night, obviously.
Yeah. Back in Black. I mean, dude, Jailbreak, TNT, Whole Lot of Rosie, TNT, Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll. Thunderstruck, Who Made Who, That's the Way I Want My Rock and Roll, Big Gun. I mean, fuck. Look, I've said this. I know, even they know their music sounds the same. There's a great quote from Angus Young back when Thunderstruck came out, and I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, when the album came out in 1990, 91. And he said something to the effect of, I'm sick and tired of people saying that we've made 11 albums that sound the same. We've made 12 albums that sound the same. And I just thought that was such a great thing to say. They're owning it. They know who they are. They're not trying to cure cancer or reinvent the wheel. They're just rock and roll, man. And it sounds great. It's great shit. I have never in my life... It's toe tapping, bobbing your head, fucking top down in the summer kind of music. That's all it is, and that's all it's supposed to be. It's not deep, cerebral, meaningful, like fucking Stairway to Heaven.
That's all Motley Crue is. Motley Crue is just pop anthems. That's all they. That's all they were. Their riffs are not hard to learn.
Exactly, you know what I mean? And it all rocks.
That's what they wanted. They didn't want these hard, complicated musical pieces. They wanted something simple that the audience can get into with them.
Exactly. And that's what AC/DC is. And they're probably the best at it. And they've been doing it for nearly 50 years. Like, just off the top of my head, I can say Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, Back in Black, Jailbreak, TNT, Whole Lot of Rosie, She Shook Me All Night Long, Hell's Bells, Let me put my love into you. That's the Way I Want My Rock and Roll, Big Gun, Demon Fire off their new. That's like 11 songs just off the top of my head and there's a ton more. But that's but that's just 11 right there.
Those 11 songs, if you're at a concert with 50,000 people, all 50,000 are going to be singing the same.
100%. Oh, dude. Thunderstruck, Money Talks, Stiff Upper Lip, the rhythm section of AC/DC and the riffs are just fucking amazing.
Well, at a Motley concert now, the audience definitely needs to help Vince out because he can't hit the notes anymore.
Yeah,
in like Same Old Situation or Dr. Feelgood. But yeah, it's the same thing. Girls, Home Sweet Home, fucking Smoking in the Boys' Room, even though it's a remake. Too Fast for Love, all those songs that Motley did specifically is their audience anthem singing songs just like AC/DC. And it's a smart way to put the Beastie Boys did the same fucking shit with their rap music. It was nothing complicated. They wanted to make shit that was simple for their audience to be engaged with them and to sing along to. And like I said, now, man, they got to do it because these guys can't hit the notes anymore.
No, it's true.
Oh, your boy can. I mean, your dude.
Well, Brian Johnson, I mean, he's 73 now and he sounds pretty good. Like, he sounds good. I mean, he's not Back in Black Brian Johnson, but he sounds good. Like, he still can do it. I don't know how much longer he'll be able to do this because it does kind of like, okay, he's up there now. You can hear it. and of course, I'm sure some of it may even be auto-tuned. Who knows? Yeah. But he sounds good, and it's fucking AC/DC, man. You put this shit on just to rock out. You don't put this shit on to fucking think about life and your lot in life and what the fuck you did wrong with your life. You don't think about that shit. It's AC/DC. The fuck, man? It's Highway to Hell. I mean, there's one I didn't even mention. What the fuck? Highway to Hell. Jesus, that's like 13 songs off the top of my head. That every single one of those songs, if I were to play that, you would instantly go, yeah, like it's involuntary. Like you just start fucking bobbing your head, and that's a great fucking riff. That's a great beat, man. It's great shit. It's AC/DC. What do you want? What do you expect?
It's good shit. No, I mean, are they going to tour? Do you know?
They might.
If shit ever reopens?
Yeah, they might do something small. I don't know if they'll do something huge. They're kind of talking about it, maybe something small, but who knows? I mean, small to them might start off small, and then all of a sudden they're on a world tour, right? I mean, who knows? I was
on Motley's final tour. And I say that loosely.
Yes, of course.
We know what that means, right? Yeah. I took the girl I was seeing at the time, and my mom and her guy friend that she was seeing, because Alice Cooper opened for Motley on that final tour. My mom's a big Alice Cooper fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, Alice, I can tolerate it in a concert.
Yeah.
I don't listen to him too often.
Yeah.
But when Motley came on, I was like, oh my God, this is heartbreaking, because like Same Old Situation is like my go-to song to them. Yeah. And when Vince started singing it, I mean, it was like every other word he kept dropping out of the song, and I was just like, oh, it was just, when you like, I mean, I was fortunate enough that I got to see them on the Dr. Feelgood tour in '89. I saw them in the '90s and the early 2000s. And when they were just kicking ass, but like now it was just, it sucked to see, I mean, like the rest of the band was fine. And even Mick Mars, who fucking is up there like a zombie because of his, his illness, but he's still riffing, and, Nicky's still doing his shit, Tommy, but Vince, man, just unfortunately never took care of himself. And it just sucked.
Sometimes,
you know what I mean?
Like, sometimes you gotta just let it go. Like Malcolm Young, who was the rhythm guitarist for AC/DC. I mean, he's the one that's, responsible for like, dun, 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 dun. And then Angus, I think, is the one that's like, don, 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 And so, I mean, and Malcolm, who is Angus's older brother, passed away a couple of years ago of dementia. He was one of the founding members of AC/DC and one of the greatest rhythm guitarists of all time. And this album is dedicated to him. And of course, the Back in Black album is dedicated to Bon Scott, right? The original singer of AC/DC. And I don't know. I kind of feel like, they're in their late 60s, early 70s. This is a good album. It's dedicated to Malcolm, who was the co-founder. Like, maybe this should be it. Maybe this should be kind of, you know what I mean? Because like,
sometimes you don't need to do the live shit. You know what
sometimes
I mean?
Just kind of let it go, and that's it. Like
let it go.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, you've been doing this for 50 years, and you dish out a fucking rockin' album like this in 2020, dude. Let it go. Like, get out. Like, because nobody wants to. Because there's gonna come a time where I just hope Angus, who of course is the lead guitar, he's sort of the guy. I mean, if he was to call it quits, I think everybody else would be like, okay, I
don't think those guys will ever truly call it. I mean, musicians.
Well, it's always in you.
It's hard to stop.
It is. I mean? It's always in you. But I just don't like. I think this is such a good album to go out on. Just kind of let it go. I mean, it's
right
their
off into the sunset.
Yeah, it's their 17th studio album. Like just kind of.
That's insane.
Yeah, 17, 11 with Brian Johnson. And they all rock. It's great. Anyway, The Faculty is tonight. The Faculty is tonight. Hex says they use a lot of Malcolm's riffs for this album. Yes, they used the riffs that he wrote. Now, it wasn't actually Malcolm on the record, though. It was Stevie Young, his nephew. So we have to make that clear. It was definitely Malcolm's riffs that he wrote. So the riffs that you hear, not all the riffs, of course, but many of the riffs that you hear on the new album is Malcolm's in terms of his ideas, but it's Stevie Young that is performing them. They didn't actually lift anything from Malcolm because he's dead. So, but yes, definitely. Yep. Yeah. He's there in spirit for sure. All right. The Faculty, 1998, folks. That's what we're watching tonight. Elijah Wood, the fucking Josh Hartnett, fucking, what's his face? That talk show host. What's this guy? The Jon Stewart, I think, is in this, isn't he? Isn't
Lilith,
he a teacher?
My girl Lilith, my favorite Cheers reoccurring character, B.D. Newirth.
Yes, she's in this. So is
good in this too.
So is fucking Usher. Usher's in there.
That's right.
Usher.
There's a T2 T1000. I forget his name.
Yeah, Patrick, something
like that. Yeah, it's an actually all around decent cast.
It is.
And this is a movie that I thoroughly enjoy watching when I do watch it. It's not one I watch all the time, but when I watch it, I'm like, this is a good film.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
like,
all right.
It's fun to watch.
It's one of the better late 90s horror films. And I don't really consider it's not a slasher per se. It's more of a sci-fi horror. Yeah. But it's one of the better horror films that were released in the, horror surge of the late 1990s. I always look at it like the horror boom, at least of the modern era, not including Dracula, Wolfman, all that, but like in the resurgence in the late 70s and 80s, there was probably about 10 years there, like 78 to 88, was really, and you could even do the golden age of slashers, probably like 78 to 86 maybe. But then it died off. Like, yes, they were making horror movies and slashers in the late 80s and early 90s, but it wasn't what it used to be, okay? It wasn't what it used to be at all. It wasn't until Scream there was a revitalization. And I always kind of look at it like in movies where you'll see somebody die, they're like, and then they go, and there's like that one last burst of energy, and then and they die. That's like the late 90s, right? So you have like the surge, it's 78 to 88, and then they die. And then 1996 rolls around, and then the year 2000, and then it's like almost dead for good,
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this was one of the better, the better horror movies that came out in that last sort of spark of the late 90s there. So this
one of my
fun.
favorites in that run of the Dawson's Creek era of horror films. Which I like to call it because that's pretty much what you were getting with these casts.
Yes, it's true.
I've always said this about Hartnett, and I know he gets shit sometimes, but I've never really been disappointed with him in the movies that he has done. I know you're not the big fan of H2O, whereas I am. His performance was solid in it. I actually like Pearl Harbor. I could have done without the love story shit, but when they actually focused in on the events, I was cool with that. And he's good in a movie with your boy Harrison. And I forget it's a cop movie that him and Harrison Ford do together. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
It's called Hollywood Homicide, I think.
Yes, yeah. I remember seeing that. That was really good. And he did another scary flick too, like a zombie thing, right? Where he's in the snow. Like in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, wasn't
like
it Dead by Day, Night, Dead
something like
Night, Dead by Night? The chat room let us know.
Yeah,
I'm a big Josh Hartnett fan. I know. This is what it's called, boys. This is what it's called.
The point is that I've never been like disappointed whenever I've watched a movie with him in it. Even like
Hollywood Homicide. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
What was it? 40 Days and 40 Nights.
40 Days, 40 Nights. That's it.
That was a good flick.
Is that the one you were talking about?
No, that's a comedy flick.
Oh, okay.
He's got to stop doing the deed for like 40 days and
30
nights.
Days of Night.
30 Days of Night, that's the horror film.
That's the horror
film,
yeah.
In the winter film. 40 Days and 40 Nights is like where he goes he has to go celibate. It's a comedy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I didn't see it. I don't fucking care.
So, but I don't know why he fell off the radar. I don't know if he just decided to get out of the business.
You know what movie I do like with him in it? But I because I think it's a pretty decent little psychological thriller kind of. I'll give you a hint. Matthew Lillard is in it. 2005.
I'm drawing a blank.
I should have the Jeopardy theme here. Wicker Park.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's not a bad little film.
No.
And Rose Byrne is in that. Oh,
that's right.
Oh, yes, Rose Byrne.
Your Insidious chick.
My Insidious chick.
That's your Insidious chick.
It really? Oh, wait, there's Tony. Tony's back. My apologies.
No.
Oh yeah, you still have a border around you. I noticed that. You still have a border around you.
Right.
Whatever.
That's just my point. I mean, you go through his Black Hawk Down. That was someone mentioned that. That's another good one. When you go through his film, his movies are solid, and I don't know why I don't know if he just got tired of the business or what.
I don't know.
He just went out, and that was it.
It's true. Let's start this movie, folks. Where are we? Where are you? We're like, what, 1-2 seconds?
1 second. I'm 1 second, just as Miramax, the old Miramax is about to come in.
Same. 1 second, just before the old Miramax logo is about to pop on. We'll give you a couple of seconds here. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. I think this opens, doesn't this open like school or something?
Yeah, I mean, the group did an okay job. I'm not a big fan of covers, but they did a cover to Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Let me know when you see the title, The Faculty, because I think I might be behind you. I'm not sure. Just let me know. I want to make sure we're on this. We're at the same.
Maybe that's like after the sequence here.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, well, T1000's freaking out on the field right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Those were our high school colors.
Right.
Maroon and gold. That was our high school. Literally, every time I see this, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm back at high school.
That's funny because our school colors were blue and gold, actually.
Blue and gold. Okay.
Yeah, blue and gold. Yeah. This guy. I love this guy.
Whatchamacallit? I forgot the name of this group.
The music?
The girl I dated in high school loved this band. She played it all the fucking
It's got to be a band from the 90s. Is it Blink 182 or something?
No, but I was just going to say that. No, it's not Blink 182.
Green Day? No.
Not Green Day. I was going to say that too. Oh my God. What's it? Chat room. Help me out, guys. Somebody tell me who the name of this band is.
I don't fucking know.
But they're like not 311. Is it 311? No, not
311.
Yeah. There was another group, like a kind of like that punky type band. Offspring. Thank you.
Offspring. Oh, the Offspring.
Yes.
Didn't they?
They were in that like late 90s, like when we were in our junior and senior year, when music was kind of in that like Sum 41.
Yes.
Blink.
Wasn't the Offspring? Wasn't the Offspring? Did they do like To Fly or
To Fly
for a White Guy? Is that the Offspring? I actually kind of like that song. I thought it was kind of funny. Of course, you probably can't do that now.
Aaron, Sum 41 is actually their music you hear a lot in American Pie. You hear a lot of Sum 41 music.
Yeah,
it's just the style of the pop rock music that was coming out in that late 90s, early 2000s when Dave and I were in our junior and senior year of high school.
Yeah,
and in early years of college.
Robert Patrick. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does do a good job in this role.
Oh my God, Jordan. This chick's in this too. She, what's she in? I've seen her. What other stuff is? There she is. Fucking
Mrs. America.
She's so hot. Lilith. It's all. Every time I hear her talk, I just think Lilith.
She used to be a dancer too.
Oh yeah, she was a Broadway performer.
Yes, she was. And
well, she sung on Cheers a few times, and when she sang, I was like, "Damn!"
Yeah, but I think she was like a ballet dancer or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a big time theater person.
Yeah. I loved her on Frasier too. Well, I mean,
oh yeah,
Cheers, yes, but when she would like show up on Frasier, so funny.
She's my favorite character on Cheers, man. I mean, next to George Wentz, Norm, and Ratzenberger's Cliff. I mean, she just and Coach. I loved Coach as well. But Lilith, man. Lilith, her BB's delivery, her just to everyone, whether she was playing off of Frasier or if she was playing off of Sam, just how she was, her delivery of it, of her comedic timing was awesome.
Has the title of the movie for you popped up yet?
No, Lilith is walking down the hallway in the dark.
Oh, okay. Because doesn't it like come up and then it comes later though, right? Like the title comes later?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure we're at the right timing when we see the. Yeah, just let me know when you see the title.
Stamp, I have 347. What do you got, Dave?
352 just passed.
Now
so a little.
I'm at 352, 353.
Okay, 357, 358.
So I'm 2 seconds behind you.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, okay, not a big deal.
It's 2 seconds. It's fine.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Well, fuck you, man. Come on.
Now Lilith is talking to T1000.
Yeah. Yep. Lilith is talking to T1000.
I'm renaming the cast of this movie.
Yes.
So.
Well, we might as well. I mean, we got Frodo in here too, so we might as well just rename the entire thing.
Yeah. T1000 is trying to seduce Lilith in the principal's office. We've gone from a horror movie to a porno.
It's funny. You know what? I haven't watched this in a while. This is fun, actually, watching this. Yeah. Doesn't one of the characters get their head on like a creature or something?
Now, did you see him stab her with the pencil?
Is that what he did?
Tell me when he stabs her with the pencil.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, it might be a second or two ahead of you. I paused it.
Now. Yep. Now.
And she slashes him with the keys?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, we're
Yep.
good.
Yep.
And she's running down the hallway.
Yep.
To that Scream soundtrack.
Yep. Scream soundtrack. Yep. That's right, my man. Yeah. L Boogie 23 Brown says Robert basically was the same character from Terminator 2. He's just that guy. He's just that guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. BB was pretty much Lilith in a horror movie. If you watch her performance, I'm like, that's fucking Lilith.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, folks. Pretty much.
Except this.
Yeah.
She just straight up cold-clocked him.
The faculty.
Yeah, when you listen to the score on this and you go back to like H2O and you go to Scream, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, but it was also
was
that
it the same guy who did the score for all three films?
I don't know. That would be hilarious.
She looks like the mom on Everybody Loves Raymond, but I know it's not.
Oh, Patricia Heaton?
Sort of looks like her.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see that.
It's not her.
I can see that. I can see that. Definitely got it. It's got that. It's almost got that. Well, because it's the late 90s. I mean, it's got that look to it. I mean, this is what high school. Wait, is this high school? This is high school, right?
This
Not college. Yeah. Well, this is what it was like for Tony and I in high school. Minus the teachers turning into fucking aliens and shit.
Well, I called a few teachers aliens in my day.
That is true. There were a few aliens in our school too. That is a good point. This is so funny. And they never made a sequel to this movie, did they?
Didn't need it.
Oh, no. Well, most don't. Most don't. But I like myself. Ah! If I knew how to animate, dude, if I knew how to animate in a pretty reasonable amount of time, I would have like a segment of my channel called Dave Tunes or something. You know?
My God, that'd be hilarious.
And it'd
with
be
all the hate mail you get too.
Yeah.
Turn it into cartoons.
Yeah. Yes, it'd be me. You get like the uber overzealous fan. But
now,
Dave,
did you see, the chick stab Lilith.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. There's the title, The Faculty. And now we get like I said, I'm not a fan of bands doing covers, but this band, I think they're called the Class of 99 is the name of the band. And they did the cover to Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing will ever fucking top Pink Floyd.
No.
Floyd is just,
what's the name of this? Hornets?
The school is the Hornets.
Yeah, I see
the Hornets.
The Hornets there, yep.
Well, there's a Hartnett.
Yeah, there he is driving up.
Driving that GTO, baby.
Yep, that's a nice car.
It is.
It's a very nice car. I contemplated putting a stripe like that down my Challenger, but
oh my God, I totally dressed like that with those bowling type shirts.
Oh my God,
you
did.
You did.
Yeah,
dude, I totally
you did, and
like
I know you did because I've seen photos of you dressed like that.
Got everything the way Hartnett looks in this movie, folks. That was me in the late 90s.
Let's see if I can find somebody that looks like me. Not looks like me, but
yeah, I definitely. Even though I was a photographer and I did photography in school, I did not dress like Elijah Wood.
There's Elijah Wood.
No fucking way.
I think
Jordana Brewster. I forgot that.
Elijah Wood gets clocked in the fucking face. That's so great.
I forgot Stokely. I forgot this chick's in here too.
Yeah, she's emo. I think I would have dressed like
those late 90s cars too.
Fuck,
God,
what the
I
fuck's
remember
a
seeing
fight?
them in the parking lot.
There's a fight going on. See, I think I would have been minus the Letterman jacket, just put me in like a regular jacket, I probably would have been like that guy.
My Letterman jacket that I have is like that. Because they gave us Letterman jackets for performing arts or for art, like for photography and stuff. So instead of being sports on the school logo, it'd be whatever, you know. So mine had like cameras and shit like that on it.
But I would say, yeah, that was like kind of like, yeah, I didn't have a Letterman jacket. It just would have been a regular jacket, but that's probably like t-shirt, hoodie, jeans, whatever. Kind of like what I dress like now.
Now her hairstyle, Jordana's hairstyle is very in line to the girls, but she's a little too overdressed. Girls like that did not dress like that in our school.
Right. Wait, is that Elijah Wood?
Oh yeah, getting the nut job on the flagpole.
A fucking douche.
Now, girls did dress like this, like these two, like punk girls.
Yes, they did.
Oh yeah, the two tops with the baggy pants, showing a little bit of the midriff.
Yeah. Yeah. Mary Beth. Josh Hartnett.
And I cut the sides of my pants like his are.
There's a lot of fucking violent. Like we saw two girls fighting over the hood of a car. Now there were like two people, like a guy and a girl. It's a lot of violence in this school. It's violent.
From that 70s show is in this.
Oh yeah, I forget his name, but there he is. If I let my hair grow, it grows out like his.
In that 70s show, I can't even remember his name now.
My hair.
Kelso.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
No, there's Foreman, Kelso, the foreign kid. I forget his name.
I don't know.
Hyde was his name.
If I let my hair grow, it'll grow out like his.
Hartnett or Danny Masterson?
No, that.
Hyde. Okay.
Yeah. It'll end up looking like his. I'd have to put like product in it, but that's kind of what it looked like. Look at like Elijah Wood.
Oh, Masters, not
Masters.
Is it Masterson or Masters?
I
don't know. Hyde
Masterson
on the show. God, looking at these kids, man, that's like, yeah, that was so fucking us. And no cell phones. No technology.
No cell phone. And cell phones existed at this time, but it was something that like your parents had. It wasn't something that we had in school. Pagers, yeah, but even pagers were pretty. It's not like everybody had a pager, right? You know what I mean?
Cool kids.
Just here they are in some experimental lab.
Oh, that's right. Jean Grey's in this too. I don't know her name in real life, but I just know her as Jean Grey from.
Well, they will be
X-Men.
eventually. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Again, it's got a really decent cast.
Oh, yeah,
Salma Hayek.
I forgot she was in this. That's right. No, you're right. For the time and the era, it was sort of the. I don't want to say the who's who. It's not like everybody was in there, but you had people were. It was what the 90s were at that time. You know, and Elijah Wood.
Frodo.
Well, yeah. Lord of the Rings and this aside, he was, when he was a kid.
Oh, he was like,
he was fucking
like Macaulay Culkin.
Brilliant. Yeah. He was a brilliant young actor. Yep. And, the Good Son,
him and Mac were great in that flick.
Yeah. He's so good. Probably Macaulay Culkin's best performance. because it's so different from Home Alone.
That and My Girl, I think those were two of his strong performances as a kid.
Yep. Agreed.
Home Alone's fun, but when you're talking about performance as an actor, he nails it in My Girl, and he definitely crushes it in Good Son.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at this, young folks. This is what our classrooms looked like back in the day. No one was sitting here doing this.
Yeah,
we were all sitting there twiddling our thumbs bored. That's what we were doing.
It's true. It's crazy, though. It's crazy to think that like to look at high schools now and the way people are walking through spaces or inside, like how different it would be in terms of people being in their phones and all that kind of stuff.
Jordana Brewster's hot.
Yep.
She's hot.
Yep.
I'm trying to decide, do I like her with bangs or without bangs? It's kind of, she can pull it off both ways.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. It's great
And
to
you
see
know the
people here
thing
tonight.
is that the cast, the young cast, and granted, they're probably about the ages of freshman to sophomore in colleges, and I think that's what makes them so relatable to seniors in high school. You know, and even Elijah Wood looks like a young kid in high school as well, too. So they did a good job of casting this. Like, I believe that this group of young adults are seniors to sophomores in high school versus the cast of Scream. The cast of Screams look straight up like they should be seniors in college. They don't look like they should be in fucking high school.
Right. It's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. It's true.
Oh, well, now you're talking like 99 when this came out. This is peak WWF fucking. This is peak Monday Night Wars.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
For those who missed out on it.
This is 98, actually.
Or
98, yeah.
Between that 98, 99. Well, Monday Night Wars were going on in 98.
Oh, yeah.
It was 99 when WWF pretty much sealed WCW's fate.
Yes, yes.
Damn, for those who missed out on it, you missed out on some fun times.
It was great stuff. It'll never be like that again.
No, my brother was a big WCW fan. I was WWF. I was so like, I couldn't bail on WWF. big Stone Cold Steve Austin fan and Undertaker fan.
It's so great. Yeah.
We had a few goth girls in our school. Goth was pretty popular in our town.
Goth was
dark. Yeah. The dark.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Marilyn Manson type, you know, feel and look. Yeah. The Attitude Era, Don, was definitely the best. I mean, I liked the 80s golden era. That was fun because we were kids. And I liked it for that. I liked it for the youth. And, you know, Macho Man, you know, all freaking hopped up on freaking cocaine, giving his freaking promos and shit in the 80s were fun. It was fun time. Ultimate Warrior, Hogan. The new generation era, I hung in there with it, but like it was more like I kind of wasn't really interested in it, but I knew what was going on. Hitman obviously was the champ, and, you know, Undertaker was carrying the new generation era. And then when 96-7 came in and they started Monday Night Raw and the Attitude Era kicked in, that's it. I was like, yeah, I'm all in on this shit. And he took a lot of heat for that in 96, you know, when he was making that transition from the new generation era to the Attitude Era. Initially people weren't on board with it, but then once Austin, I think it was really the Austin McMahon feud is what really sent, you know, the Attitude.
Well, yeah, and it's
right
relatable
into the stratosphere.
Yeah,
you know
because you're sticking it to the man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's
the
that
best
whole
feud ever. And I've always said this, that McMahon plays the best. Oh my God, I'm drawing not face, but
heel.
Yeah, heel. Thank you. McMahon's the best heel in the history of the business.
Oh yeah. But he's so dramatic. You're
God, he was so dramatic.
The hell was that? But I mean, can you imagine? Okay, now imagine this. In any other workplace, okay, I don't care where you work. You're working at McDonald's, you're working in an office, you're working at a Home Depot, Walmart. It doesn't matter, okay? Pick your workplace. You get called into the back, and your boss says, "You're fired."
And then you turn around and flip your boss off and give him a stunner.
Yeah, exactly. Like
McMahon could not sell the stunner. I will say that. He was horrible. He'd be on the ground like this. I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Exactly.
You know who could sell the stunner though? The Rock.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's
bounce off the
some people would
shit.
sell it so bad. Some people would sell it so bad. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, for sure. Hang on, I'm in the middle of doing It's Me Billy stuff here as we're watching this.
No problem. Sorry, I didn't get to mean to sidetrack on WWE. It's just it's all fits within the era of when this movie came out. Yeah, he did Cobra Kai. He got better over the years, but those early years at the beginning with the Attitude Era, and especially the very first time he stuns McMahon, oh my God. Google that or YouTube that shit. It's so bad. But yeah, he did. I will say he did. McMahon got better. Shane was better at selling the stunner for sure.
Shane, yeah. Well, a lot of people do though. Like there are some that sell it really well and others that just don't sell it well at all. You know, I find the older guys, although McMahon was older, but he was in good shape though. McMahon was
dude was jacked.
Roids.
When you look at McMahon in the 80s and then you look at him in the Attitude Era, you're like, yeah, okay, dude.
Oh, 100%.
You hitting the roids big time.
100%. What's on your screen right now?
The girls are talking to each other.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, folks, we're watching the 1998 horror film, The Faculty.
And reflecting on 1998 memories and talking about the Attitude Era.
Pretty much. We're talking. Yeah, pretty much.
We're going down memory lane right now. This is fun shit for us. She's wearing a Tommy Hilfiger jacket. Tommy Hilfiger was also popular.
Yeah.
A lot of kids wore Hilfiger back in the day. Yeah, the McMahon Hospital Austin attack was great. One of my favorite bits was when Austin came down with the beer truck and he did the beer all over the ring, and McMahon is like trying to swim and he's doing this shit in the middle of the fucking ring, and Austin's just spraying him with the fucking, I don't know if it was legit beer or water or just foam or whatever it was he was spraying. That's one of my favorites. That was fucking classic.
Yeah.
And of course, anytime Austin would return or come and save the day, fucking JR would sell the shit out of that.
Yep.
Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold.
I know. The whole thing. It's such a. It was a heck of a time. It was a heck of a time.
This whole era was fun for us, man. I miss it. I do. I miss the innocence of how fun it was. And just like, when we talk about, the stuff about when we talk about movies, how we used to talk to each other back in the day about it, we never got so knee deep into like these theories and all. It was just, we talked about the movies. It was just shooting the shit and having fun. We didn't argue with each other. We didn't fight with each other.
It's very true.
Chilling out and fucking talking about movies.
Yep, it's true. Oh, wait. All right.
So I miss that. I miss a little bit of that. This is when you see the little thing swimming in the fish tank.
Creepy. It's creepy. It's so like 1998.
CGI.
Yeah.
There's Usher.
Oh yeah. Is he gonna like break out? Now whatever happened to fucking Usher? Whatever happened to him?
He's still around. Wasn't he like
is he making music?
Wasn't he like a host on something or whatever?
He was a host?
Yeah, like on one of the singing competitions or some shit.
Oh, maybe.
He lives here in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Maybe he is. I don't know. I just remember he had like, is he still doing music though? I don't know if he's still doing music.
I mean, I'm sure like we said earlier, artists are always musician artists.
Well, yeah, I just mean, but I haven't heard of like an Usher album in quite a few years, I
don't know.
Na, 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 na,
oh, that's the yeah song?
Yeah. That's like the last song I remember him doing, but this is like 15 years ago.
That's like the song that you hear at the wedding and your 80-year-old grandmother gets on the floor and dances to.
That's a catchy tune, though. It's a catchy beat, but that's like the last one I remember him doing. Has he done anything since? I'm sure he's done stuff since. I mean, that's like 15 years ago.
If not longer, right?
If not longer.
Oh, no,
yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah, I think it was like 2004 or 5 or something.
Like that.
Oh, Chastity Smith says Usher was a host on The Voice. Oh, okay. Thanks, Chastity.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was some type of music show.
Warren Armour and the Thong song. I remember that.
Oh my God.
Thong, 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 thong. Of course, you probably couldn't do that now. You couldn't do that now.
No, you would have. The music we grew up with would offend half of everybody out there.
Oh, yeah. And then there's people, I don't even want to get into that. I'm going to fucking lose it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, this movie, it's fun to watch this. Yeah, a lot of these movies have those like alternative tracks in it.
From that time, from the late 90s.
From that time, yeah. Whether it's Blink 182, Sum 41, Green
Got that
Day,
Nickelback, Creed sound.
The alternative.
Never be a blind man.
My friend Brian, who was one of my best friends in high school, he was all into that.
That's not the lyrics, guys. Don't shoot me out. I was just mocking the lyrics to "You Remind Me" by Nickelback.
You remind me I'm a big man. My buddy Brian was all neck deep into like the Blink 182 Sum 41. So much
My girlfriend was. I couldn't stand it. I could not.
I remember when Brian came to school. Brian, if you're watching, I love you. It's okay. When he came to school and he had dyed his hair like this orangey red, and it was spiky. And we were like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, what? I'm like, what do you mean, what? I mean, your fucking head, man. Your hair. What do you mean, what? Oh, it was funny. And he got a guitar and everything. And he could play the guitar though, but he was self-taught. He taught himself how to play the guitar. Cool. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
He was good. But yeah, I remember that. It was funny. I just remember my buddy Evan and I were like, what is this? Spiky hair and all red or something. It was like, that was funny. And again, I mean, I wasn't any better. 2 years later in college, I had my hair dyed bleach blonde. And I looked ridiculous because I have dark eyebrows and dark stubble. So it just looked stupid.
I tried it once, but because I have dark hair, like jet dark hair.
Yeah, I have dark hair too. Well, it's a dark brown.
I tried it and it looked orange. I tried to do the highlight thing because that was popular in between 97 and 98. Guys were like,
it was a big deal.
It was. And in our time, it was very popular.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, no, it turned my hair orange. So I ended up just cutting it really short.
Yeah. I dyed my hair late 99, first year college. And then it was cool because when I went back home for Christmas, I got a haircut and then they cut it. So a lot of the blonde went away, but now it looked like I had blonde highlights. So I actually kind of liked it. It looked good. Like that looked good on me. The bleach blonde looked ridiculous because I have dark brown hair. So it just looked silly. It just looked like, I thought it was like, yeah, this is great, man. I look at photos and I'm like, this is awful.
I love it how they sanded out the Pentax logo, which should be right on the top there, but they left the K1000 on the side of the camera. I'm like, just leave the fucking logo on at that point. Everyone knows if you're a photographer, because we all had that camera in high school, the K1000. I still have my K1000.
Imagine if it said T1000.
Look at the VHS, Dave. The VHS.
I know. I love me some VHS, man. Good old VHS.
Like I just did Friday Part 1 and 2.
I saw that on Instagram. You made that post.
I love watching VHS.
Yeah. I have to get myself because I still have all my VHS tapes. So I have to get, I want to get myself I have a VCR, but I want to get myself like an old, like 80s tube television, but it's but not a big one. Maybe it's like 15 inches, maybe something like that, so it's like a small one, I think that'd be cool to watch fucking VHS movies on that. I'd be down with that. I got to do that.
I got to do that. It's like a rainy day in Pizzaville.
She's hot. I liked her as Jean Grey.
Yeah. Yep. Jean Grey.
Although that I just went through watching the X-Men movies. Man, those movies confused the shit out of me because I could never understand the timeline, including the Wolverine movies.
Mm.
I never understood that. They totally screwed that shit up. Have you ever watched any of them? The X-Men? I actually like the
first X-Men I saw in the theater way back when.
I actually like the X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse. I haven't seen Dark Phoenix yet, but I like that X-Men timeline better than the Hugh Jackman and that chick there. I could never keep up with the timeline and just understand why this character's here and what they were doing. And and then when the Wolverine movies came out, it even confused me even more so.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember my girlfriend did wear shoes like that though, that Jordana Brewster's wearing. She had like 5 or 6 pairs of those types of heels, or not heels, but they were like, I don't know what they
flats.
were.
They were flats with like a bit of a heel on them. Yeah. I can see that right now. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Cody, First Class was dope. That's probably my favorite X-Men movie. Then Days of Future Past would be second.
I gotta admit, I've never seen any of them apart from the first one.
Do you mean the actual first X-Men? Hugh Jackman, X-Men. 99? Okay.
2000, I think it was. I think it was 2000. Yeah, I saw it in the theater. I remember seeing it in the theater.
Logan is good, but Logan, again, it just confuses me on the fucking timeline, and I need to like sit down with an X-Men person and be like, okay, explain this fucking shit to me because it just confuses me. As far as cinematic, goes, Logan's a very good cinematic movie.
Right. I got you.
Curious to see what curious and worried at the same time what Disney or the MCU is going to do with X-Men.
Right.
Now that they're going to be doing that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I'm listening and I'm watching this. I'm like, yeah, it's solid. It's one of the better late 90s horror movies.
Yep.
Period. You know what I mean? It's certainly not it ain't no Halloween 5. It ain't no Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Erection.
Halloween Erection.
Yeah, that's was going to be the title, and it was going to be about Michael Myers on Viagra, but they decided to go a different direction.
That takes the phrase "trick or treat, motherfucker" to a whole new level.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
With my erection.
Trick or treat, motherfucker, with my erection. It's a whole different movie, there, folks. It's a whole different movie. Yeah, Salma Hayek, yeah, she looks good in this movie too. They all look good.
My favorite Salma Hayek moment is Dogma. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, with Candy Girl, the song Candy Girl by New Edition, and she's a stripper.
New Edition? You mean like the Great Value brand of Boyz II Men?
Well, from the early 80s, before Boyz II Men.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. That is true. That is a good point.
Yeah, and she's dancing on stage to Candy Girl, and Kevin Smith and Jay and Silent Bob are having a tip-off. I call it a tip-off because they were flashing up money, and Salma Hayek was going back and forth between her and the tough guys in the bar.
Salma Hayek, though, she's beautiful, but she's one of those people that gorgeous. Her boobs are so big, and they're so in. It becomes distracting, but it like almost in a comical way. You know, it's like, come on, come on. There's no way. I mean, come on. It's just funny to me. It's always funny. Warren Armour says Kevin Bacon and his brother have a great band. Yeah, I wouldn't say
Bacon
great,
Brothers.
But it's a band. Yeah, the Bacon Brothers. Hear the sizzle. That should be their tagline.
Damn, she's hot.
The Bacon Brothers have a new album coming out called Hear the Sizzle. What do you like in the morning? Some great tracks. Yeah. Cheese bacon. Cheese bacon. It'd be so gross. Do you like your bacon crispy or like not crispy? I like crispy bacon.
I like crispy bacon.
I'm a crispy bacon guy.
Yeah.
Chat room, are you crispy bacon? guys? Crispy bacon guys? Gals? Guys and gals? You like your bacon crispy? Like, basically what I'm saying is that if I hold up my bacon, it's got to be like this. See my pen right there? It's got to be like this. It's got to be like this. I can't hold up bacon and have it like I'm holding it straight and it flops and dangles down. Nah, I'll eat it. But no, man. I don't want limp bacon. All right? I want firmly.
That's what she said.
Exactly. I want firmly erect bacon. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I want. That's what I want. More and armor, bacon on pizza. Crisky and crunchy. Crisky. All right. Crispy bacon, says DMT Infinity. Yep. I'm with you guys. Crispy bacon. That's the way it's got to be. This movie's going by fast, too. It's going by fairly fast, anyway.
About 35 minutes into it.
Yeah. How long is this movie? Let me see here.
Hour and a half. Typical horror film. 90
minutes. Yeah.
90 minutes. It's a 90-minute movie.
Can you imagine, imagine there was like a sexy woman. Beautiful. But
she talk like this. Would you go out on a date with her, Tony?
Put a muzzle on her.
Ladies, the same with men. Ladies, what if this dashing, tall, dark, and handsome man walked into a room and he was like,
hello, would you like to go on a date?
But he's fucking amazing. Sophie's Choice. No, I don't know. It's not really Sophie's Choice at all. Sophie's not involved.
No. Leave Sophie out. Poor Sophie.
She gets a bad rap.
This dude always plays a jock in the movies.
Always. You're right.
Always like that jock type dude.
Yes. He's got that jock look to him.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. He's just
like this Chris Pratt type. You know what I mean? Just has that.
See, that's what I mean. And that's why I don't think Chris Pratt I don't look at Chris Pratt and see Indiana Jones. I'm not saying he wouldn't do a good job. I'm not saying I wouldn't concede and say, hey, he's a great Indiana Jones if he did it. But he would not be my first choice. Just because he was Star-Lord or whatever the fuck he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that his name? Whatever the fuck his name was. Doesn't mean that he can be Indiana Jones.
Not Dave!
I need a punching sound on this thing. I need a punching sound effect. But oh. I love it. Zach Gaxiola says, Dave, this December, would you consider doing a retrospective Two Dudes episode on the rise of Skywalker and how it's held up 1 year later and the saga as a whole? Maybe. I wouldn't have thought of it if you didn't bring it up. We'll see. You never know.
God, please don't make me watch Disney Star Wars. Oh my God, please.
I won't make you watch The Last Jedi.
I don't want to watch any of it. I'm not a fan of any of it.
Not even The Force Awakens? I like The Force Awakens.
No, I'm pretty much checked out on all Disney Star Wars now. Have you seen Mandalorian season 2? I haven't seen it.
I've watched the first few episodes. It's good. Good so far. Yeah.
Damn, I was like, that looked like the Myers house for a second.
A little bit. Yeah. It just had
a split second. Like I looked really quick. I was like, damn.
Similar. Wait, yeah. It had like a similar sort of, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Very similar kind of there in a situation.
Oh man, he finds the porno magazines under his bed. Yeah, that's what we had, folks, back in the day. We had magazines that we hid from our parents under the bed.
Yep.
I might be ahead of you on that one.
No, I see it. Porno magazines. Or you'd find I don't want to say who. I had a friend of mine who had a parent who had their own stash. We found the parents' stash. And then the parent came home and I was trying to hide behind the vanity.
Flogging the bishop.
That's
such a 90s term.
Yeah.
Don't flog the bishop.
Flog the bishop.
And our parents never talked that way.
No.
Such a stupid line. We would steal the porno magazines. Shame on us, I know.
Yeah.
Well, because they would be like right there on the edge of like the convenience store. You know what I mean? In the little bookshelf right by the door.
Yeah, they would be like, they'd be
literally right there. Next
yes.
to the cigarettes that would be out on the, like back in the day, dude, they would have cigarettes out on the main floor, porno magazines on the main floor. Till they
within arm's reach.
Within arm's
reach.
Till they caught on to like the fact that us young kids were stealing that shit.
Why am I peeking? Hey. Oh, I'm peeking big time here.
Where are you at? I'm at like the teachers are reaching for him and
I am.
He's looking outside, talking to his dad. Dad's got the porno magazine in his hand.
That's where I am. Dad's got the good old porno magazine in his hand, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he does. Good old dad.
Playboy was all right, but Penthouse was really, Hustler and Penthouse were really the shit. If you could get your hands on those, you were cool. Your friends loved you.
Yeah, then there's a lot of the real dirty ones.
That's what Penthouse and Hustler, in comparisons to Playboy.
There was even dirtier ones than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
there was like real dirty ones, like Gent.
I think I remember that one. Or was that a Canadian one?
I don't know. Maybe it was Canadian. I don't know. No idea. I didn't look carefully enough. And Darren Sand says analog porn.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. Analog porn. That's what we had. We had like right at our fingertips. Well, just go onto your phone and there it is.
I remember going to there was a video store down the street from where I lived called Explicit Video. And I remember going, it's so stupid. I always looked and sounded so much older than I was, so I could, walk in no problem. But my buddy Brian, looked and sounded like his age, like 16 or 15 or whatever. And we'd walk in and Brian was so nervous. Oh, he was so nervous. And I'm just like, yeah, how you doing?
Looking for Debbie Does Dallas.
I'm just looking for the such and such section.
It's right over there.
All right, come on in, Brian. Let's do this. And Brian's like, hey, it's like he's not fucking 18. Get the fuck out of here.
Of course, you remember in every video shop they had the adult section.
Well, not every video store, but a lot of them did. Yes, you're right. Yeah. A lot of them have in the back behind a curtain.
Blockbuster never did. Blockbuster never had that. But in like the mom and pop shops, video stores, they have the X-rated section.
That's right. Yes, they did. It was behind a black curtain.
So bad. Like a black curtain stopping me to go in there.
A black curtain is bad. You'd walk in.
Can't go past the curtain. Then you're going to see the wonderful Oz back there.
And what's so weird is that when you'd go back there, you'd feel like you were in like this other world because it was quiet. And there was nobody else back there.
It was like soundproof and shit.
Yes, and you'd walk back there and it'd be all quiet and you'd be looking around. And it was like they had like this black lighting or something. I don't know. It was just fucking weird. And you're looking at this, you're like, this just feels so wrong.
But you also felt cool at the same time. Like, I went into the adult section today.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. It was just funny. It was like, man, it's crazy stuff. Aaron Click says, of the three from tamest to raunchiest, it was Playboy, Penthouse, and then Hustler. Okay, well, there was raunchier ones than that. I can because I've read Hustler, not recently, but obviously years ago. They got raunchier, that's for sure. There were some magazines out there that were pretty, basically.
And then in the back of those magazines, talk about catfishing. They had the 900 numbers back there.
Yeah.
They have like these picture perfect models.
Oh yes, yeah.
And you trust me, when it was revealed in those documentaries who you were really calling, you weren't calling them girls. That's for damn sure.
No, you were not. No, you were not. You were definitely not.
Freaking. And I don't want to be mean, and I'm not going to be mean, but let's just say it was the very opposite of what was being advertised.
Oh yes, yep, for sure. For sure.
That would be the beginning of social media, I guess you could say.
Well, I guess kind of from a certain point of view. From a certain point of view, it might have been. This is like.
We had in our state, we had, I don't know if you guys had it. It was called the party line. Now, party line was different than a 900 number. Party line, you could actually call people around Connecticut who were about your age. Between between the ages of like 16 and 21.
Right.
And you could talk with different groups of people that these were like legit people in your area. And we met up with a few girls like around like southern parts of Connecticut and whatnot, me and my buddies and whatnot. So we had that. Did you guys have anything like that up there? Like a party line, not a 900 number, a party line where young adults or teens and young adults could call into and whatever.
I'm sure we probably did. I don't recall one. I know I didn't call it if there was one. There may have been. I'm not sure. That's a good question. There might have been. I just was unaware of it. I know I didn't call it, if that's the case. I don't know. DMT Infinity says, spoiler warning number 8. It's Me, Billy part 2. At the end, we get a trailer for It's Me, Billy part 3. And it's Me, Billy versus Michael versus Jason. What are you typing here? Spoiler number 8. Are you doing like spoiler number 7? Billy is played by Buster. Oh, okay. He's writing silly things. I'm just going to say DMT Infinity doesn't know anything about the movie, but I just wanted to see if you were writing things that may have led people to believe that they were real. But no, obviously they're not.
That was one of my favorite go-to outfits that he's rocking right now. The long sleeve shirt with the t-shirt
underneath,
kind of baggy. Yep.
Yeah,
and he's got the cargo pants on
the
side. Yep. Yeah. That was literally one of my go-to looks.
You know how many guys had carabiners too, like the rock climbing hooks hooked onto their fucking.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now I didn't have one, but a lot of guys did, man. A lot of guys did. Doc Martens, of course, were really huge. I didn't have a pair, but I remember a lot of guys wearing them. No, I was a jeans and running shoes guy. You know, I was that guy. I don't know if I was I was more a jock, but I wasn't a jock. But I wasn't a jock because it's not like I was like a jock. But I wasn't. But I dressed like one, I guess. Yeah, I was just I don't know. But I did on occasion. I remember wearing the khaki pants and the fucking collared plaid shirts and shit. And oh boy. We're bringing it back. We should bring it back.
A little bit of plaid. I mean, I wear more plaid now as an
adult,
than I ever did.
Yeah. It's so funny watching this. It's funny, I remember this movie coming. Did you see this in the theater?
Oh yeah.
I didn't see it in the theater. I don't remember. Like I vaguely remember it.
This came out around the same time as H2O. Literally, like right around the same time.
Yeah, I don't. Hey Google, what year did The Faculty come out? I know it's 98, but she'll tell me the date.
The release date of The Faculty was November 12th, 1998.
Oh, November 12th. So like
months after H2O.
3 months later, yeah.
Yeah, because H2O came out in the summer, right?
August, I think. Yeah. Where was I? November 98.
Tony Michael was big pimping back in the day. No, it was just a lot easier to talk to girls back in the day. They weren't so fucking nutty, man.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that the viral video, the TikTok viral video on YouTube, man? It's got like all these girls, man, and they're literally, it's like a collage, and they're just like fucking spazzing the fuck out. And I just feel like making a video going, people wonder why I'm single. Here you go.
Oh well, TikTok. I mean. Yeah, I don't understand. I just the world is so different now.
When I say spazzing out, I'm not even exaggerating. Like I'm talking like straight up batshit fucking one flew over your fucking cuckoo's nest. Crazy.
Right.
Crazy. And what? Like, this is, they're just posting this on their TikTok, and I'm just like, why would you like do this, man? Like,
and what?
God damn.
What are they?
They're just spazzing the fuck out. I don't know. I gotta send you the link of it. It's fucking crazy.
What are they spazzing over?
Fucking everything, dude. Life.
They're just spazzing over life.
Life, dude. Just life. I guess. I don't know. I gotta send it to you because someone made it.
I'm just fucking spazzing over life. I don't give a fuck.
It's another one, and then it's another one, and then like it gets merged together, and there's like 8 of them, and it's just fucking crazy.
Fucking children. Man. Hey. Yeah. This is fun watching this though. I do like watching this. This is good.
Reminiscing.
Yeah, it's good. And you can't help it when you watch a movie like this to get caught up in remembering what it was like at that time for you actually living through that time period.
Yep.
You know, not that.
Oh yeah, there's the early days of the computer, folks.
There
and you notice nobody's
CRT
even
monitor.
on it.
No.
No one doesn't even care.
No, nobody's on it. No,
oh, except for
nobody.
That, like, one person over there.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
I'm telling you, man, we had computer labs and like we never used. I mean, we used them for schoolwork when we had to use them for class shit, but. Dude, we thought the internet was just going to be a thing that like would come and go and would never become a thing. We honestly, that's what we thought, you know, at the time. I mean, I can't speak for what it was like up in Canada, but in my area of Connecticut and where I went to school, we thought the internet thing was just like, oh, this is a passing phase. Because we just didn't think people would be sitting there in front of a computer, you know, spending your daily life on there like we are now, like, you know, the way we are.
Right, right.
You know
I don't really remember. I just remember we had a computer, we had a couple computers actually, because my dad was able to get them through his work. And I remember playing Doom on it and fucking like Minesweeper and like just games. And then the internet came in. Of course, it was dial up. And I remember it was very.
Mail.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was very like I didn't have my first email address till I was 19 years old. So, I mean, you know, it didn't really, and I still have that address today. It's not the one I use on the regular, but I still have it. It's still open. And I just didn't, I don't know what I thought. I don't know if I thought anything. I just thought it was, it's the internet. It's this thing where you can go and look stuff up but I mean, certainly it's definitely come a long way and for better or worse, probably more for worse, especially the toxicity that exists now and everybody's fucking angry at each other. But yeah.
Yeah, Aaron, I don't know about the spazzing out. And when you say it's guessing it's TikTok, I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know if that means it's like, you know, TikTok more
what
than
the
me.
fuck? Look,
like, is that a normal thing for people to do on there? Because it like, I just can't imagine making a video of me flipping the fuck out and then posting it for everybody else to fucking see. You know what I mean? Like, I can't figure out, like, why are people doing that? And that's why I'm just like, nah, man, I'm gonna stay far away from girls.
I don't have any children, so I'm like not up on the TikTok thing.
No. It's not just.
I know that.
Our age too, dude.
I know that. But I'm just saying that is TikTok like just like a app that allows you to record like really short videos and stuff? I don't get it.
Well, yeah, I mean they're videos because like I said, YouTube. This YouTube guy.
I don't give a fuck.
Is putting a collage together of like all these people just freaking out on TikTok. I'll send you the link.
I've seen some of it. Like the older I get, the more I realize I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. And you got to say it like that. Fuck. Everybody with me now.
Fuck with authority.
That's right. Everybody in the chat room. Come on, you can do it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck. I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. Dave, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm becoming the get off my lawn man. I'm not on TikTok. I don't even know what a TikTok
I'm the
talkity
same
tick
way.
is.
Like if you're gonna have I'm offended moment and I'm gonna freak out, I'm like, dude, you can go have fun.
Life's too short to be worried about. I'm offended.
Oh, and Josh Hartnett is smoking on screen. You don't see that shit anymore.
Oh, that's true. You don't see a lot of that. I can see that right now. Yeah. You don't
Smoking
see a lot
was
of that.
a big thing in high school for us too. Smoking, like,
a
lot of people smoked.
We had.
I did. Did you?
No, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, actually, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, it's true. My lungs are pure.
I did the smoking in the boys' room thing and did what he's doing, smoked in a classroom. And yeah, smoking cigarettes was a thing.
You know, it's
not saying it's good. I'm just saying it was definitely a thing for us
I wonder,
in the 90s in high school.
I wonder if high schools now would allow this. But
dude, we had a smoking section. No way.
I was just gonna say
outside.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. I was just gonna say that we had a smoking section outside. It was at the back of the school by this part of this circle part of the building, and everybody. I've been out there, not many times, but I did go out there on the occasion to speak to somebody who was smoking, or who I needed to talk to at that time for whatever reason.
Now,
but I was rarely out there.
Was it anybody could, or is it like for our school was just the seniors were allowed to smoke at the designated smoking?
No, anybody could. Anybody could.
Really?
Yes, anybody could.
And, I mean, we all did, but I mean, the seniors were really supposed to be the ones to smoke there.
No, anybody could. And I wonder if now, but of course, that was also at a time when restaurants had smoking sections, which was so stupid.
Dude, you could
when you
smoke
think
in
of
the
it.
mall.
Yeah, but it's so dumb when you think about it because.
Yeah, the restaurant thing.
Yeah, because
I know.
So you're sitting 12 feet away. I'm okay. I can't smell it. I can't. It's so ludicrous.
The logic we had back in the day, you know, we weren't thinking it through.
But you bought into it. You believed it. You bought into it. You know.
No, I mean, if there's one thing I could say that I'm okay with stricter and eliminating is definitely there's nothing positive that comes from cigarette smoking. You know, there's nothing good from it. You know, causes cancer, emphysema, and everything else under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did it. Like I said, I'm not proud that I did it back in the day as a kid, but you know, it is what
but you're not doing it now, and that's the important thing.
And I'm like 6 months, 7 months, whatever it is now, clean from smoking weed, and just
That's good. That's good, man.
So, but I remember in the malls too, like they had the designated smoking areas and little ashtrays, like right in the center. You know what I mean? You sit down and light up, like you said, like you know, you go into the center of the mall, you sit down and light up, like this was a designated area, as if the smoke couldn't escape the area that we were smoking in.
Well, it could. It was amazing. There was this
blocked right there.
There was this Star Trek level force field that was around the whole thing. You know. I don't know, man. It's crazy stuff. It's so funny though how much is, you know, and it's not that long ago. You know, 25 years. I mean, it's not
even
that
I mean, we graduated in 98, so 22.
No, yeah, but I just mean like to the mid 90s, you know. It's not that long ago. But yeah, no, 98's 22 years ago. I should have graduated in 97, but I failed grade 4.
Same.
You got to be held back, Dave. You're not doing very well.
Oh, fuck you, man. Come on. No, I didn't say that. But yeah, and it's crazy. Crazy indeed. Chastity Smith says, in my high school, at lunch, you could go out by the flagpole out front of the school and smoke. I went out purely just to get out of school.
A lot of kids did that, like in our designated area by the cafeteria outside, because we had an indoor-outdoor cafeteria.
Oh, okay.
And in the outdoor cafeteria part of the school was where the smoking section was. And a lot of kids would go out there just to kind of hang out with the other kids who were smoking.
Yeah. Jon Stewart
bites the dust.
Yep. Was this before the Daily Show? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Like
right around then.
Right around.
I mean, it wasn't too much longer.
No, because he started in very.
He might have already been doing it, because I remember.
Maybe he was.
Did the Daily Show start right around when South Park was doing its thing at the beginning?
Let me just hear. Hey Google, when did the Daily Show with Jon Stewart begin?
The air date of the first episode of The Daily Show was July 21st, 1996.
Oh yeah, 96.
So it was like 2 years into
Wow.
it already.
So he was already.
South Park had started around then too.
Hey Google, when did South Park begin? I think it was before that.
The air date of the first episode of South Park was August 13th, 1997.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So that's okay. No, that makes sense, because people used to walk around saying things like, "Lick my chocolate salty balls,"
like South
or
Park
whatever.
South Park was such a controversial show.
Oh
when
my
it first
God.
came out.
Oh my God.
That was very controversial. All
Yeah,
the
it
stuff
was.
that Trey and Matt were saying.
Oh, yes.
The characters on
Yep.
there. Lick my balls.
Yeah, chocolate salty. The chef,
Kyle's
the
mom's
chef.
a bitch.
Yeah.
Respect my authority.
They killed Kenny again. like 5,000
Dude, I
times.
remember fucking back in the early 90s when we were kids, like 6th, 7th grade, and some of the stuff that was on Bart Simpson was saying don't have a cow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That shit was controversial.
It was. It sounds funny to people now, but it
I know,
it was.
like literally, don't have a cow was literally a controversial thing to have on your shirt.
Because people used to say to their parents then, Mom, don't have a cow.
What did you say to me?
What did you say to me?
Get a whooping.
Was she 90?
What did you say to me, dear? Harold, come and beat your son.
All right, come here, you little fucker.
Eat my shorts. That was the other thing.
Yes, eat my shorts.
Was a controversial line that Bart said.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it now, like in comparisons to like the shit that's going on out there with what people say and whatnot. Eat my shorts was controversial.
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, fucking
eat my shits.
The big thing right around the same time with the Simpsons controversial quotes and sayings from the show. I remember when they made such a huge deal when the 90210 episode when Dylan and Brenda had sex, and parents were trying to get that episode banned.
Really?
Oh yeah, in the States, in my area, the parents were trying to get that episode of them. I mean, you don't see anything; it's just alluded to. They go up to the hotel room and stuff. Right. But because of what it's alluding that they're going to go and do the deed. Oh yeah.
I see. That's brutal. That's brutal. I don't remember that.
Man. Yep. Of course, the Married with Children came out in the late 80s and fucking.
Oh, look at yeah. It's crazy.
And Fox was like, "Fuck you, we're running with this."
Whereabouts are you?
They're in the Josh Hartnett's house, in his garage, in the lab.
In the lab, right?
The no sleep pills, and it's 1 hour, 1 minute in.
Yeah. He's got
he just tapped himself like this.
Oh, okay.
And now he's about to put the thing under the microscope there.
Okay.
He's got the gun on the table.
Yep. Okay.
Are we good?
Yep, we're good.
All right, cool.
And he's with like Elijah Wood and everybody, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when they have to go around and sniff whatever the fuck is in that shit. Josh Hartnett. I had shirts like that sometimes too, with like the double.
Well, it wasn't double. Well, you would
no. Put a shirt underneath and then a shirt over it.
I still do that. You know, like when I'm Sundays when I just want to be like lazy. Yeah.
The fuck is the drama in this scene?
Oh yeah, PETA would be all over this shit today.
Oh fuck, the drama. The drama in this scene is intense. Cobra Dojo sends in a £2 super chat. Says, D&T, have you seen the Ricky Gervais show Extras? I haven't seen that, but I've seen his new show that he has on Netflix right now. Was it Life or something or whatever it is? I really like that one a lot. I like Ricky Gervais a lot.
Have not seen it.
No, but I haven't seen Extras. No.
Not seen Extras.
Warren Armour, yes, I remember that in Living Color. Slappy the Clown, homie, don't play that. Boom.
It's a lot of stuff.
And Living Color had some controversial moments as well too.
All you got to do
is they push the lines a little bit on that show.
All you got to do is show somebody who's really, woke or up in this whole fucking thing right now. Just show them Trading Places and just call it a day. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Show them in Living Color. Show them
that.
Mad TV.
Oh yeah.
Fucking SCTV, your Canadian show, the Saturday Night Live. Actually, I actually liked SCTV better than Saturday. Yeah. Well, I like the original two classes. I call them classes.
Yes.
Two original classes of Saturday Night Live are my favorites. And they competed very well with SCTV, which was a Canadian version to it.
It was.
Competed very well. Like, dude, you're talking like, listen to the lineup on this SCTV. John Candy, fucking Eugene Levy, Martin Short, fucking Catherine O'Hara, oh my God, Rick Moranis was on it.
Yep.
I mean, legends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Legends, and it was like a Canadian version to Saturday Night Live.
That's correct.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it was a funny show.
And we got it in Connecticut, but it was on like at 2:00 in the morning.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah. And all the actors were Canadian or are. Yeah, Canadian. Yeah. It's true.
And the shit they were doing.
Oh yeah, I know.
Could not fly today.
No, you couldn't. Like, there's even things. Anyway, we could go off on a tangent. We'll have to do a show on it. But there's a lot of things. Yeah, we should do a show where it's just like things that wouldn't fly today. Title it,
I'm offended.
Things that wouldn't fly today. It's crazy. Franklin Stein says, Dave, what is your favorite body snatcher film? For me, it's a tie between Donald Sutherland and this one. Oh no, mine is. I mean, I like The Faculty. It's fun, but hands down for me, it's 1978's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think it's just the mood and the it's just great. I love that.
I mean, it's a classic science fiction film.
Yeah.
Franklin, are you talking about the Saturday night likeness show that it's called S as in Sam, C as in cat, T like TV.
Yeah, it stands for Second City Television. Is what it stands for. Second City is the famous improv.
You can look it up on YouTube. I watch a lot of the shit. They've got a channel and everything, and it's good. It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And you're watching these legendary comedians really polish what they would eventually become.
That's right. It's how they started.
Yeah.
And
even what's his name? Harold Ramis was on like the first 2 years.
He was.
Or first year or something like that.
Yes, that's correct. And late 80s, early 90s, Kids in the Hall.
Oh my God. Well, I remember that show. I was more into Degrassi.
Yes, that's a Canadian show,
which is similar to Kids in the Hall.
Well, no, Kids in the Hall was a spoof comedy group like SCTV. It was a bunch of skits.
Yes, you're right. You know what I was thinking of? Kids Incorporated.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I was thinking of Kids Incorporated. Never mind, my bad.
Degrassi is more of a narrative
kids show.
But that was a Canadian show shot in Toronto. It was supposed to take place there too. It's very Canadian. I've watched old episodes and they're like, well, we're just going to go down to Bay Street, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like so Canadian. It's like right around the corner for me. Not right around the corner, but I know where it is. And Kids in the Hall was a Canadian show as well. We do pretty good comedy up here.
You do.
We have some funny people. I mean, even Michael J. Fox is Canadian.
Yeah, you guys definitely had a good.
Jim Carrey's Canadian.
Good farm of comedians.
Yeah.
We have some funny people.
Could you imagine though if they had like merged the beginning to like the first like the Belushi era of SNL with SCTV?
My God!
Do you imagine if they had merged that? Oh my God!
If they
legends, legends, man.
If they had done that, oh my God! Like that would be
probably one of the greatest shows ever.
Yeah. Oh,
you talk about Jim Belushi, Dan Aykroyd,
Chevy Chase,
Bill Murray,
Eddie Murphy,
John Candy, Eddie Murphy, Martin Short, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, chick. What's the other girl from SNL?
Gilna.
Yes.
What's her face? She died. She was married to.
Yeah, you're right. That's her name.
Gene Wilder. Gilna Radner.
Yeah.
Gilna Radner. Is that it?
Right.
Gilna.
Anyways, like, could you imagine if they had done a hybrid show, like all those guys together in one show? Fucking be insane.
Yeah, it's true.
Definitely don't. We definitely don't make comedians like we used to. That's for sure.
That's true. That is true. That is.
I just listed off like 12 of them. And I couldn't name you 5 today that are like top tier like that.
Franklin Stein says, but you guys have Justin Bieber, so it's a wash. Hey, he was fine until he went down there. It's just your fucking problem.
he's doing all right now. He's
your problem now.
Life out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's fine. Are you at the where are you right now in the time?
They're snorting that stuff.
In the lab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Snorting it. And the guy's about to pull out the gun in a second, I think, right? The jock. He's going to be like, oh, fucking you, fucking motherfucker.
Yeah, Jeff, Andy Kaufman, another great guy, legend from that era.
Yep.
There's so many freaking legendary comedians came out in that late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, for sure. Ooh. For sure. Absolutely.
And none of their routines would fly
volume
today.
keeps. I apologize if my volume keeps spiking a little bit. It's for whatever reason it's the link that's causing it, but I'm monitoring the fader.
Ryan Reynolds is funny. The thing with Ryan Reynolds is he has no range with his comedy. It's very Ryan Reynolds. Like if I
he's
see
Canadian too, yeah.
If I see Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool and watch Ryan Reynolds in Waiting, it's like I'm watching the same character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has a specific shtick that he does, and he does it very well.
Does like a sarcastic one-liner. That's pretty much it. So his range, like when you talk about range, I think of someone like Jim Belushi.
Right,
motherfucker's got range.
Oh yeah,
you know
big time.
John Candy, dude's got range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He can go all over the place with his comedy. Eddie Murphy, same thing.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd. You know, these are people who can go from here to here and not be stuck or pigeonholed into one type of comedian role.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is pretty much the same type character. That's why he was perfect to play Deadpool, because it's him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's essentially just being Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I get it. Totally.
This is when we find out Jordana Brewster's got the shit in her.
Shit? Like actual feces?
Pretty much, like little buggies.
Oh yeah. Doesn't her head pop off or something?
Homie's got a mallet in his hand. What the fuck are you gonna do with a
Wait, does her head pop off?
Not yet.
No, but it's going to, right? Or something?
Yes, yeah. Michael Dean. Josh Hartnett did shoot this movie at the same time with H2O. These were his first two films.
Yeah.
I will say that The Faculty is probably the better of the two.
Mom, Michael Myers.
And definitely a better performance.
Michael Myers is dead.
That's how he says that.
Michael Myers is dead.
Dead. It's my uncle.
Mom.
Fuck.
Yep.
We don't really celebrate family Halloween in our family. We got a homicidal maniac in the family.
Oh man.
What?
No, I just was anticipating the carnage. The climax of this movie. You're gonna anticipate it.
Like I said, it's a good version of The Wall. I personally think they should have just fucking opted to pay for Floyd's version. The band did an okay. They're trying too much to sound like Pink Floyd. That's what I think I don't like about it. I mean, you're talking about one of the most iconic albums ever recorded in music history. Pink Floyd's The Wall.
We don't need no education. You got this band that's
trying to sound like them. I just would have opted to pay for the rights to get Pink Floyd's on there. It's not bad, but and Pink Floyd had a big resurgence in our high school years. That late 70s music, Floyd, Zeppelin. I remember a lot of my friends listening to them as well, too.
Yeah.
Kids alone.
We don't need.
This is when Usher clotheslines a kid. That would have been totally illegal in the game.
Oh, 100%.
And then taking your helmet off. Yeah, you can't do that shit in the game.
No, you can't.
And then picking him up like that. No, you can't do that.
No, but he's Usher. He's Usher. He's into it. He's fucking passionate. But no, you're right. You can't. You can't do that. But he did it.
And then fireworks going off like that. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. That never happened in Friday night football games.
No.
But Friday night football games were big. I mean, definitely, they were popular, at any high school.
Look, in the States, it's a big deal
Friday
down
Night
there.
Lights is huge.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a real thing. I mean, even though it's a movie, that's actually what they call it. It's Friday Night Lights.
High school and college football up here is not like it is in the States. I mean, look, college football in the States will sometimes draw more people than the NFL.
Oh,
like, I mean, that's
especially like when you get to ours,
insane.
like Georgia. Dude,
Yeah.
these kids are like
Florida.
down here. They're playing in like stadium like they literally build like half stadiums for these kids to play in.
Yes.
It's fucking
nuts. It's insane. It's insane. High school football in the States can draw big crowds. It's crazy, man.
Oh yeah, and when we're talking about like sometimes when we're going to the game Friday night to watch high school football, people like from other countries or whatever, like what? Like, dude, you don't understand. It's fucking huge. There she is, fucking looking hot in that blue fucking sexy dress, Lilith. God damn.
There she is. She looks like Lilith to me. Like this looks like it could be Lilith in the faculty. No, I know, but yeah, exactly. That's what that's totally what it looks like to me. Lilith in the faculty. Oh, I hear my cat meowing. What is it, Veda? Are you okay? You wondering what's going on in here? Yeah, but Veda, I'm in the middle of doing a show, Veda. I'm in the middle of doing a show, Veda. Okay? I'm in the middle of doing a show. Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's true, Cody. No high school principal anywhere looked like that. That's for sure.
No.
Ours was an old dude. I didn't like him.
What is it? You want to come here?
He was like a creepy old dude.
You want to see everybody? You want to come here? No? You don't want to come up? No?
Eric Bischoff, $2 super chat, £2 super chat from Cobra Dojo. Eric Bischoff funded this football game.
He did. Eric
it looked
Bischoff,
like something out of WCW.
100%. Yeah, he did. He totally did. DMT, Veda is such a good girl. It's VADA. It's like Vader, Darth Vader. VADA.
I thought it was Veda, like the girl from.
Yeah, some people have thought that. No, it's when we adopted her. Of course, she's a black cat, and I'm a Star Wars fan, but she's a girl, so we didn't want to call her Vader, so we called her Veda. But it's a Star Wars reference. It's not a My Girl reference. I guess it works either way, but intent matters, ladies and gentlemen. Lilith. They should have made Lilith like the main villain in this movie. That would have been cool. What's she doing now anyway? What's BB doing now? Is she still acting?
She's doing Broadway, man.
Is she? Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's understandable.
Well, that's why she sort of did full-time Cheers in the later years, and then she left it again.
Yeah.
And then came back in the final, like ninth, I think between the 8th and 9th season, she's in the credits, and then she's taken out of the credits because she was kind of back and forth between Cheers and Broadway.
Right.
She was really into the theater.
Right.
Yeah, I know they've toyed with the idea of bringing Frasier back, and the idea of doing like Frasier and Lilith reconciling and now older together in their older years, and that wouldn't be a bad idea. It's not going to have the same elements of like what you had with Frasier, because you're missing, his brother Niles. I know, because I don't think he wants to do it full time. And then the chick who played Daphne, I don't remember her name. And then you have Ross.
Yeah,
Ross,
what's happened? I guess COVID kind of derailed that, but I heard that they were in the process of maybe
talking about it. And
yeah.
I liked the idea. I just don't know if it would be if it would have the same home run like Frasier did. The spinoff, which, I mean, talk about like a home run. I mean, you're coming off one of the most iconic shows ever.
Oh yeah.
Only to create another iconic show. You know what I mean? Like that never happens in television history.
No, very rarely. And Frasier, I adore Frasier.
Yeah.
I think it's a great fucking show. And I remember it when it was on in the 90s. I was a teenager and I never watched it because for whatever reason, it just, I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me. And then I saw a couple episodes, but about, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 years ago, not that long ago, my girlfriend and I, because she's a big Frasier fan, it's one of her favorite shows, we started to watch some episodes. And I think now as an adult, then, I would have been about 34 or 35 maybe. As an adult, I appreciated it more. I could maybe even understand the wit, the wit and the innuendo and the humor. And I love it. I love it. I've watched every episode and I just adore Frasier. I think it's great writing. It's great performances from everybody. Great casting. Cheers is the same way, of course, but Frasier, I was like, oh, why the fuck did I not watch this when I was 17? But then again, I was 17 and maybe I just, who knows, but.
David Lee Barron, $4.99 super chat to our Lord and Savior, Peachy Christ. We bow down before you and ask you to teach us the ways of Pichet. What the hell is a Pichet?
Oh, Pichet is my my grandfather's last name. It was my remember when I said my last name is McRae, which obviously I get from my dad, but my dad was never related to any McRae. He was never a McRae by blood. My dad took on the name McRae because that was the man that my grandmother married after his father, my grandfather, died in World War II. So technically I'm a Pichet. My name is Dave McRae legally, but the man for which that name comes from, I wasn't related to by blood. He was my grandfather and he was the only grandfather I ever knew, but technically I wasn't related to him by blood for all intents and purposes. Well, no, not all. Actually, he was like a step, grandfather, if you want to get technical about it. So that's where it comes from. Pichet was, Earl Pichet was my grandfather's name. And then he was killed in World War II. So my grandmother married another man by the name of Bill McRae. Where did he fight
in World War II? Do you know?
He's buried.
Was he in Europe?
Yep, it's where he was killed.
In the Europe fights. Okay.
Yep, he was buried in Holland, and that's where he is now. And he was killed. What sucks about it is that he was killed in April of 1945, like months before the war ended.
So he would have been. Hold on.
He was 23, I think, when he died.
You said he was fighting in the Netherlands, right?
No, he's buried in Holland. I don't know if that's where he was killed.
You don't know where he was fighting?
No, I don't. I'd have to check. He might have been killed in Germany or France or something like that. Gotcha. But he was killed. He was riding a tank.
I'd be curious to know if you can find out, because I'm a World War II fanatic. I'd be curious to know which battles he fought in.
For sure. I'll have to ask.
My grandfather fought in Okinawa. He fought in Guadalcanal.
Yeah.
Like two of the most extreme battles next to Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
They were fighting when the Marines were fighting for the Pacific Islands. My grandfather was a Marine on the front line of that shit.
Amazing. I'd have to ask. I don't know. There's not too many people alive anymore that knew him. My grandmother's dead. My uncles and aunts were not his children. They were Bill McRae's children, so they wouldn't know. I'd have to, I don't know. Maybe my sister might know. Both my parents are dead, so I don't know. I'd have to ask maybe my sister. She might know, maybe. I doubt it, though. It's crazy. Crazy indeed. So yeah, that's what Pichet means. So to our Lord and Savior, Pichet Christ, we bow down before you and ask you to teach us the ways of the Pichets. That's so silly, David.
I thought it was like a fucking Pokemon thing.
No.
Honestly. I did. I thought it was like some Pokemon reference or something.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that was me. Here we go.
Weren't they just playing a football game like a moment
I was
ago?
just going to say that. I thought they were playing. I was literally just going to say, is it just, it's because I've been talking.
Emptied?
Yeah, I'm like, is it because I've been talking and we've been reminiscing? The faculty has brought out the nostalgia from the late 90s, and I'm like, wasn't the stadium full like 5 seconds ago?
Like what happened? I'm trying to figure that.
Maybe it's
out.
me. Maybe I missed something.
Maybe
here.
we missed something and they evacuated, and we were talking about other shit.
Maybe.
I guess because like I'm trying to like go. Wait, what happened to the football game?
What's your timestamp? How much time do you have left?
20 minutes, 21 seconds.
Yeah.
Counting down.
Yeah. I'm about there. I think I'm a few seconds behind you, but it's not a big deal. We're about the same.
Oh, they turned everyone. Okay, so everyone in the town's.
Even all what? Everybody in the stadium's been turned too? No. Ooh, did you see that? The fuck?
Yep.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm not happy what they do with this GTO in this film.
Yeah, it's painful to watch.
It's hard to watch if you're a car person.
Dude, the other day I went over the I'm not gonna say it's a pothole, but it felt like a pothole, and I heard like a boom, and I'm like, no. I literally pull over, I get out, I look, I don't see anything, everything looks fine, no scratches, no dents or anything. I don't know what it was. I'm a stickler for that kind of stuff. Are you like that too, where you get like a scratch or a dent, you're like, oh fuck?
Yeah, I got one underneath the Camaro right now that I'm not too happy about.
Oh no, what happened?
I hit a curb and scratched. It's underneath, so you don't really see it. But
okay.
I know it's there. And
you know,
I
it's
know
there.
It's there. It's
yes.
Fucking,
and you can look under and you can see like the whiteness, or you can kind of feel the edges. Luckily I don't notice anything like that on my car. The car before that, I had a few little things, but this car, I've done a pretty good job at being very mindful of this one. David Lee Barron sends in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, David. Says, dear Mr. Michael Tony, how the fork are you? Did you know 1 million seconds equals 12 days and 1 billion seconds equals 32 years?
Damn, I thought you were going to go into that song from Rent for a second there.
Oh, 1 million, 1,600 minutes. It is amazing. I was having this conversation, funny enough, David, with Bruce not too long ago. Like, if you think of that in dollars, it really tells you, it really shows you the difference between $1 million and $1 billion.
Yeah.
And it's just insane. It's insane.
Big time insane.
It's insane. Absolutely insane. Cobra Dojo sends in a £2 super chat, says, Tony, Audrey Hepburn's last movie, pop quiz.
Don't know.
Was her last movie, wasn't Charade, wasn't it? I don't think it was. It was well after that. What am I thinking? Charade, that's with...
yeah,
oh.
I don't think it was Charade either. I don't
know.
Hey,
Google, what was Audrey Hepburn's last movie?
Always, 1989.
Always.
Always.
Wait a minute, the Spielberg one?
1989. Audrey Hepburn died, age 63.
Oh, this is when we meet the head, Mama.
Switzerland, from appendicular cancer. To find out more.
Okay, Google, shut up. Fuck.
Again, 1990s CGI, not bad, not great.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this and it's kind of comical, but I mean, it's 90s. It's it's like, although I tell you, man, I watched I watched The Thing a week or so ago for Saturday movie night. Those practical effects, man, they still hold up today. Those practical effects in The Thing are, as the kids say today, lit. Kevin Bacon's boner makes an appearance. He sends in a $10 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, if the Mandela effect was real, would you rather have to see every British actor on screen 3 sheets to the wind, or B, every time there's a black actor, they say trick or treat motherfucker in the movie? If the Mandela effect was real, would you rather I don't understand. Well, that has to do with the Mandela effect. I think you could leave out the Mandela effect and just ask me, would I rather have to see every British actor? Anyway, I'm going to go with the motherfucker just because it's funny. It's just funny to me. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. David Lee Barron says, Dear Mr. McGay, is it true your bullies called you McGay back in the day? I'm not being mean. I'm laughing with you, McGay. I think because did I say something like that? Maybe I did say something like that. I probably did get it. McGay. Yeah, probably. It was the 80s, man. It was the 80s and 90s. There was a lot of things that were said that are not politically correct. Yeah, for sure. I certainly got that. I got picked on when I was younger. Not so much when I got myself in shape. After I got myself in shape, the picking on me stopped because they knew I could beat the crap out of them. It just kind of stopped right there. But certainly before that, yeah, that was something, because my name is McRae, McGay. I mean, all those things happen if you have a name where kids can spin it into something, they will. Absolutely. Absolutely. At first I was like, what? Why are you calling me that? Then I'm like, I see what you're referring. You're referring to something. Yeah. Sorry, Tony, go ahead.
No, I never had like one of those. I think it's because I always made an attempt, whatever grade level I went into, I'd always pick a fight with the biggest, baddest person. You know what I mean? Just to show
that's a good idea.
Like, you know what I mean? That I'm not going to fucking tolerate any bullshit type thing. So I kind of developed that reputation. I got into a lot of fights.
Yeah.
School. Not that I'm bragging about it, but I just, like I really made sure that like none of that shit happened to me. And yeah, I don't condone fighting, and I don't think fighting should happen. But yeah, I definitely got into my fair share.
I condone it. Everybody should get into a fucking scrap, beat the shit out of somebody.
You know what I mean?
Everybody should beat the shit out of somebody. I condone it. Get out there, kid. Pull your pants up. Get out there. Kick some ass.
I'm a firm believer. You need to win some and lose some. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. You gotta,
Just wait for the sequel, Rock.
That's brisk, baby. Remember that ad, that root beer ad from the 90s? That's brisk, baby. And then Mickey's like, just wait for the sequel, Rock. Remember that? That was fucking funny.
I remember this one fight in high school I got into with this dude. This dude clocked me good. We clocked each other. We left marks, but he got me really good. Left a good shiner on me and like fucking fucked my jaw up for like a month.
Ooh, that's tough.
That was probably one of the last good fights that I got into with someone. And I mean, just like a good scrap fight where we were both like, because like when there's fights where I'm like totally dominating the situation, it's not fun.
No,
like, it's like
you almost feel like stopping.
Back off. You're like, all right, I'm like, this is not fun. Like the dude's not doing anything. Yeah. But when it's a good, like when you're brawling with someone and you're really in a good scrap with someone.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. David, I have no thoughts. David. I don't know. To each their own. To each their own.
And most of my buddies were bigger than me too. So like we used to wrestle and shit, like in the yard, like dude, we would really wrestle with each other, which eventually would turn into a scrap because someone would hit someone the wrong way.
Right.
You
get
know
upset.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get into that like quick little scrap with them.
Yeah. You get generally upset.
I was the smallest person out of, everybody in our little group. So I always had to like prove myself. Like, you're not gonna push me around.
Yeah. Well, I can feel the movie winding down now.
Yeah. We're coming to the climax. That's what she said.
Yeah. That's Yeah, movie's winding down. The Faculty, 1998. This has been fun watching this, though. I mean, I've been listening to it low in the phones and talking to you and reminiscing about the 90s. And
the 90s.
Yeah, it's been fun talking about this stuff and seeing the movie here. It's like I said at the top of the show. Not the top of the show, but it's definitely one of the better horror movies from that era.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure, it is.
DMT Infinity. I got jumped once, and ever since I started walking around with a knife, taser, mace, and got a license for my protection. People need to stop hurting others, man. It's childish. I didn't get jumped, but I got sucker punched by a dude who had a gun. He hit me with his gun, and he knocked me out with it.
Yeah.
Which the thing of it is the dude, in theory, which fed more to my ego. He was bigger than me.
Yeah.
And if we actually went into a fight, he probably would have won the fight.
Yeah.
The fact that homie fucking cold clocked me without me looking with a gun because I was stupid and was talking to his girl. But that's my dumbass fault. But whatever. Stupid teenage bullshit stuff. He clocked me, like just totally caught me off guard, hit me. Then my boys jumped in and were like, yeah, dude, no. They caught that shit and we're like, not happening.
I'm reading what Darren wrote here.
In
and
fact,
then
that
of
was
course
the only time I got knocked down. That when I got hit by the gun.
Oh. Well, that's good. That's good to put on the resume. It's the only time you got knocked out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, because he caught me off guard by it, and he hit me with the pistol or the handle end of the gun.
Right. I just reading here what Franklin Stein had written, and it's funny because and I am going to say this word because I'm going to instill what people are trying to remove, which is nuance and context. But I am actually going to say the word. Well, the word that is a traditional sort of slang word for somebody who's gay, an F word. But it means cigarettes. You know what I mean? It actually, it does. It does
in Europe. It means cigarettes.
That's what it is. And, but in Ottawa, which is our nation's capital here in Canada, where I grew up as a young boy, there was a store that was, that my dad used to frequent a lot. And it sold magazines and newspapers and all sorts of shit. And it sold cigarettes too. And the name of the store, now, be prepared, folks, for anybody who's going to get offended now, okay? For anybody who's going to get offended, the context of for which I'm talking about, there was a store that was called this. I've been to the store as a kid. Context, ladies and gentlemen. If you're offended, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I've warned you, and I'm saying this within context. That's very important. The name of the store was Mags and Fags. That was the name of the store, meaning magazines and cigarettes. So, that was the name of the store.
Still name that?
No, I don't believe it is. No, because of, well, you can't name it. You can't call it that now. But when I was a kid, it was called that for years, like years and years, Mags and Fags. Hey, son, you want to go to Mags and Fags? It's like, yeah, okay.
Dude, me and my boys, we used to call each other that all the time.
Well, yeah, well, that's different connotation though, right? Like that's
in the context of what we're talking about all the time, like straight to our face.
Absolutely.
We would call each other that, and dude, nobody got offended.
I would be lying to you if I said I didn't call our friends didn't call each other that back in the late 80s, early 90s. Your kids, you're hanging out, of course, right? Would I do it now? No, because I'm not an idiot, and I'm aware that it's in a general sense it's not socially acceptable, and but that's why I wanted to say it here in relation to what I'm talking about, because I think context matters, and I think and the name of the store, it was referring to the cigarette. It wasn't referring to magazines and homosexuals.
Well,
I was referring to magazines and cigarettes.
In the second Conjuring, she says, "Can I have a fag?"
She does. That's right. She does say that.
In England, that's what they call it. They call it cigarettes.
100%. So, and I remember being a young boy, and I forget what I bought. I bought some joke book or something, some book full of jokes from Mags and Fags. And I remember taking it to school, and my friend, I'm like, 11 or whatever. And my friends are like, "Where'd you get this? This is hilarious." I was like, "Oh, my dad and I picked it up from Mags and Fags." Well, you can imagine what 10-year-old kids were about. Mags and Fags. Like they were just laughing hysterically and all that. And I'm like, "No, it's cigarette." And my dad taught me that. Cause at first I was like, "What?" And they're like, "No, Dave, it means this." You know what I mean? And it was like, I'm pretty sure it was called that for, I'm going to say maybe it changed its name maybe within the last 10 years. It wasn't that long ago, I don't think. I don't think it's called that anymore. I'd be stunned if it was still called that. But yeah, that was the name of the store. So Darren is right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's what it was called. That's what it was called. And so if you were offended by that, I don't care. I really don't care, because context matters. It absolutely matters. And that was the name of the store. Don't blame me.
And you just start a YouTube channel and just like say everything that offends everyone and just title the channel, "I don't care."
I know. I don't care. Because it's because it's frustrating that you got to walk this like, as long as I'm not being belligerent and saying it in a way that is
derogatory
insulting, calling like my friend who's gay that word.
Trust me, if people got a hold of my text dialogue with my buddy Devin, we would offend a lot of people because we still call each other names.
I have no doubt. But I think in a public setting, like on a forum like this, where there's a responsibility, I want people. No, but I
be responsible for people. Fuck that.
No, that's true. That's true. But it's my channel. Of course, there's a dynamic that's created, but I want the girl. I want the situation to be about context, because that does matter. It absolutely matters. And Darren's right. That's what they're called over there. And if you're offended by that word, don't go to Europe. So don't do that. Because they still say that over there. I mean, it's not as much as they used to, but it's still said over there a lot. Yeah, he gets the girl. Obviously.
He got the girl, everybody.
Robert
he got
Rodriguez.
The girl.
This was directed by.
Yeah,
this was
screenplay Kevin Williams.
That's right. Oh yeah, there you go.
Scream and Halloween, which is why it has a Scream feel.
He was the go-to guy. There it is, folks. 1998's The Faculty.
Robert Rodriguez directed this.
Hey, if you're watching after the fact, comment below and let us know your thoughts on The Faculty. What do you think of it? Where do you put it in line with that late 90s resurgence of horror? Let us know. We would love to know. Let's move over to the chat room.
Boy, Kevin was on fire in the night.
He was on fire. We have a few minutes here to. Yeah, we'll talk for a few minutes here. We got David Lee Barron says, thoughts about Bermuda Triangle and how about Area 51? David, those are loaded questions. Let me just say that I think Area 51 is more intriguing to me.
Let me just say, of all the fucking places you fuckers out there that want to go protest, can you not fucking storm Area 51 so we can find out what's there?
Well,
Stop protesting in the capitals in the city. Go to Area 51. I want to know.
I don't think there is anything at Area 51. I think if there is something out in the Nevada desert, it would be
so they could tell us.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be there. It would be like in the side of a mountain or in some secret, whatever. Because Area 51 is not secret anymore. Yeah, no, it's interesting. There's so much to talk. I mean, we'd have to do a whole show on that kind of stuff.
Bermuda Triangle, I think that's been debunked, time and time again. I mean,
it's
a lot of the Earth's magnetic field to the sun and everything that's been explained.
Oh, it's interesting.
I will say this.
Yeah.
When we were kids, before we evolved with technology, before we were able to figure a lot of this stuff out, it was more fun because we didn't know there was a possibility that the Bermuda Triangle could be something just like Loch Ness. We didn't have the sonar technology that we have today to where we know Loch Ness is not.
Right.
There was a possibility growing up in the 80s that Loch Ness could be real. Bigfoot could have been real. The only evidence we had was it Anderson's video? Is that the guy who shot it?
Patterson.
Patterson, thank you.
Patterson.
That's all I will say I miss that part of what we had of that imagination.
Yeah.
Maybe, but because of technology, we've been able to really debunk a lot of shit. And I think it takes away of the charm that we had as kids.
It's true. And you're absolutely right. I will say this, when it comes to, and I'm not a religious person, so I know if you are a devout Christian, perhaps you believe that you're the only thing alive in the universe. That's fine. You're entitled to that. But just for, a warning, I'm not. So out of the trillions and trillions or billions and billions of galaxies and trillions of stars, personally, I think to believe that we are the only intelligent life, and I'm not talking about microbes. Oh, of course there's life out there, and they're microbes the size of the the head of a pin, or I'm talking about other intelligent life, but not necessarily humanoid, but maybe, but not necessarily. I mean, for all we know, the universe could be teeming with intelligent life, and I think out of all the billions of galaxies, I mean, think about that. Billions of galaxies. I mean, to think that no, it's just us. I think is ignorant and ridiculous. I think the probability is so astronomically high that there are other civilizations out there. Some may be well ahead of us, some may be well behind us, and we might actually be in the middle. Who knows? But I do believe that there is life out there. And have they visited Earth? Well, maybe. Are they little green men from Mars? I don't know.
I can tell you one thing. If they visit us in the recent year or so, I'm sure they took a B turned and went, nope, we're good.
Yeah, pretty much. No. But yes,
no.
I do believe there is other intelligent life out there just based on probability alone. It's just, it'd be ridiculous just to, if I was a betting man, let's just put it this way. If there was a bet, hey, Dave, we're going to bet $10,000 that there's no life or life. I'd be like, put me down for 500 million. Like, I mean, it's so astronomical. The probability, the odds are so incredibly in my favor just because of the numbers, alone. So let me just say that when it comes to Bigfoot, listen, I would love there to be a 8-foot tall bipedal ape running around in the fucking BC and Wyoming and fucking wherever, Yeah, I would love that. But why is it that every fucking video, and the Patterson video, unfortunately, I do think is a fake.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we know that now.
Yeah, we know that now. But I mean,
but we didn't back then. That's what made it so.
We didn't.
That was the magic of it back then.
Totally true, dude. You're right. And I just think that somebody would have gotten something clear by now.
Oh yeah,
especially
with capabilities and what phones
everybody's got
everybody's
got a camera in their pocket. And so I think now, was there an ape? Yeah, there might have been at one time. We know that from fossils and all that kind of stuff. But now, I mean, the only explanation is that it is either interdimensional, which I know sounds very science fiction and corny and cheesy, where it just kind of, I don't know, flocks around Earth and then disappears. Or it's just so like, and not only has nobody gotten a good Bigfoot video, nobody has ever recovered any Bigfoot carcass. So it's just, again, that probability, if you want to talk about that, that's low. So if I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet that.
Remember how like the footprints was a thing? And,
it was, and it's easy to replicate, although there's some, so I don't know. But you're right. A lot of the romance and the mystery has been taken out of a lot of that stuff. But you know what? I'd rather know the truth. I'd rather know the truth.
Not me. I kind of miss that. I miss that innocence and, like you said, the romance of it. Because what if? You know what I mean?
No,
we don't have the what if anymore.
I think we do. I think we do with other life in the univerce.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there is a very good chance that we may have been visited, but I don't think it's spaceships with fuel. I mean, it's again, it sounds very movie-ish because we've seen it in movies, but there is truth to a lot of the quantum physics that we see about black holes and bending space-time and the theory of relativity. I mean, we all know this to be true, and I think that there is a likelihood that is if you are traveling through space, because the speed of light is too slow. It's far too slow. So you would need to bend space and time somehow, and there may be a civilization that is thousands, millions, billions of years ahead of ours that have done it. And I think that it sounds science fiction, sounds interstellar. I get it because that's our only reference is the movies. So it feels very movie-ish and, very fiction-like. But there is truth to it in terms of the science. So I think that it's very possible that there could be a civilization. I think it is, at the very least, we're not the only ones. There's no way.
No, in fact, just to piggyback off your religion reference, Matt McConaughey, all right, had the perfect summarization to even how I feel about religion. Because I do believe there is a God, but it's more of the way he broke it down. I was like, yes, that's totally it. Like the teachings in the Bible that I can relate to are the things like, be kind to someone, don't kill someone, don't steal from someone, don't cheat on your wife, don't, like the stuff that I like. When you start talking the magical things and the separating of the sea, walking on water, Jesus healing people, like I can't really relate to that. I can't apply that to my life because I'm not a deity, I'm not a God. So you know what I mean? Like I don't know what to do with those stories, but the principles and the morale teachings, I totally like, be kind to one another. I'm totally down with that. I can apply that to my life. And that's how he broke it down. And I was like, yes. Yeah. And I think what is it, and for me, and again, I only speak for me,
those are things that you shouldn't need religion to
exactly. And that's what he was saying.
Yeah, like
exactly
it's just common sense.
Common sense.
You know,
right.
we as a civilization should be far enough advanced now that we know, hey,
right?
Exactly, probably should, be kind to my, kind to my fellow man and my wife, or not beat people up and treat people like how you want to be treated. My light over here went out in case people were wondering what that was.
Which is unfortunate because I'm finding it more and more just when I observe shit online and just read the comment sections on videos on YouTube, like, man, the hatred people have towards each other nowadays. It's like,
oh yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. It's intense.
And like you said, you would think we would have evolved to a point where we were just treating each other better.
You would think so. Scott Wood sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Scott. Says, AC/DC is the best volts are felt. AC/DC is the best volts are felt. I agree. Cobra Dojo, £5 super chat, says, I saw 878 in the cinema in 2018, Jaws a year later. I love both movies, but Halloween is my favorite. I enjoyed Jaws on the big screen a lot more. Yeah, I think I would enjoy Jaws on the big screen a lot more too, probably.
Do you know where I enjoyed Jaws the most? Was at a drive-in.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun to watch.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Summertime. Down in the Connecticut Groton area, we were by the beach, which made it. We weren't on the beach. I was just gonna say,
being close enough. Being close to the beach would have been cool. Yeah. Dreed Mem 77 sends in a very generous super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, D&T, do you think since Michael Myers kills his victims only on Halloween, gives some credence to the idea of him being a product of a cult like we see in H6? Best of luck on the shoot next week, Dave. Thank you very much. Hope all goes well. Sure. I mean, it depends on what you write. I mean, sure. Yeah, you can dive into the paganism and Samhain and that's what they did, essentially. And so, yes,
we don't know what time of day he killed the garage dude.
No, that's true. Well, it was Halloween though.
Was it the day before the Halloween? We don't know specifically.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see
what I mean?
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, no, you can. I mean, it's all about story and it's all about,
and when he escaped in H18, he didn't kill on Halloween either. The night before he killed when he escaped.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I think that's a good point. Yeah, no, I think it's all in the writing. It's all in the writing.
Same thing in Halloween 4. He killed the night before as well too. I'm just going through all the movies in my head right now. Yeah. When he killed the night before.
That's true.
So yeah, there's been times where in the franchise, he does kill the night before. He doesn't just kill on Halloween.
And then, of course, you'll get people going,
well, in Halloween 2, it would have been after midnight, so technically it was November 1st.
No, not necessarily. I've been trying to piece this. This has been my mission. I'm trying to get it right. When the cop dude says to the kids, Tramers, it's shortly just after 10 at that point, right? I believe he says a little bit after 10.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So my guess is that, yes, it does carry into the middle of the night, but I'm not sure how long into the middle of the night. But what I'm trying to figure out is where in the original Halloween all this shit takes place, because I'm led to think that it's super late at night, and it's not. When shit goes down and Laurie's walking across the street to the Wallace house and all that, I'm under the impression that it's like 10, 11 o'clock, and it's nowhere fucking near that. It's like,
yeah, well, that's
6, 7 o'clock.
Well, no, again, here we go.
Well, I mean, based on Halloween too.
Exactly.
I mean?
I was just going to say, and here's where Dave does his little thing. That's because in Halloween 1, it probably was supposed to be 10 or 11 o'clock at night because it was the only movie they were going to do, right? True. So it probably was 10, 11 o'clock at night, but then they do Halloween 2 a couple years later and they have to rework a couple of things. And now you're watching. Yeah, it probably was. I mean, if you were to ask John Carpenter in 1978, 79, what time is it supposed to be here? He'd probably say, I don't know, 10, 11, something like that. Because they weren't thinking about a sequel. So they weren't thinking, hey, we should make it hey, we should have more kids out on the street. We should show a clock that says 8:22. Hey, no, because it was just going to be a one and done thing, So yeah, no, you're right. I always suspect that. I mean, listen, even though look, it's a matter of semantics, but I mean, or I know people get really technical with this stuff. Yes, I understand that once I know. I understand that once you cross midnight, it's technically November 1st, but it's still Halloween night. It's still the same night. So for me. For me, it's still Halloween night, and you know, Halloween
You're wrong,
ends.
Dave.
Halloween
You're wrong,
ends
Dave.
at dawn. I can hear it now. Bad Dave. Halloween ends at dawn. Well, technically, if you're a kid, Halloween ends probably at 9 o'clock. You know, that same night because you got to come in from trick or treating. But the Halloween, you know, it's still the same night. So Halloween ends at dawn, and I suspect that Halloween ends because Halloween Kills and Ends both take place the same night. So I would expect that Halloween Ends will end at dawn. You know, when Halloween ends is
Dave, you're wrong, Dave.
You're fucking wrong, McRae. Yeah, fuck you, McRae. That's what's happening.
I've been wrong my whole life. So what the
hell? Cobra Dojo, £2 super chat. George Wilbur or JJC? I prefer George. I prefer James Jude Courtney. I prefer James. I mean, yes, because
sentimentally, I mean, I'm
sentimentally,
leaning,
sure.
I lean towards George, but I mean, I can't. I mean, James' performances, I mean, as Michael is the only thing I like about the 2018 film.
It'll be
really
interesting.
Good.
It'll be interesting to see what he's like in the.
I'm curious to see what he does in Kills and Ends if we actually get that this year.
For sure.
That's still questionable.
For sure. Daniel Hyrel, US $4.99
Daniel
super chat.
Harris? What?
Yeah, can you imagine? Daniel, DNT, what do you think? My idea. At the end of Kills, Michael Myers' mask is destroyed, so he breaks into Nichols Hardware again and wears an OG 878 mask for Ends. I mean, I get the nostalgia. I get the symbolism. I get that you kind of bring it full circle to bring it home. But
no, it'd be a clown mask if it went full circle.
Well,
you know, the little clown.
I know what you mean. For me, I'd say no, because as an audience, because I have to suspend my disbelief, because I'd be like, why is there a Michael, like, what is the name of this mask? Because, you know, remember, are they selling
in the cinematic world of Halloween?
Right, because so why is this mask being sold in the universe of Halloween? Is it a Michael Myers mask like they sell Donald Trump masks? Like, what is this mask, and why would they do that, knowing that it's the most notorious murderer, you know, one of them, and he's wreaked havoc on this town, and they're selling his face. I mean, maybe, right? 40 years has gone by. Things have tempered down. Things have gone back to normal. People don't care, right? They sell masks of dead presidents all the time. Or though I've never seen a Dahmer mask, a Gacy mask, or a Manson mask personally. Maybe there's one out there.
I've seen Dahmer masks.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I haven't seen John Wayne Gacy. I mean, I've seen creepy clown masks, but I haven't seen a Gacy. I've seen
there you go.
Dahmer mask.
There you go. I just have trouble. I have trouble believing that they would have a Michael Myers mask, you know, at the Nichols Hardware store. And it just seems...
Well, and that's been my defense with...
I wouldn't do it personally. I think it's a little too on the nose.
Well, and that's my defense with why I like, and I don't give a fuck if people are going to be like, I can't believe he likes the H4 mask. I like the H4 mask because when he finds that mask in the Vincent Hardware, drugstore, to me, I think it's a similar mask. It doesn't look just like the mask he had in 78, but it looks similar. It has it's that white, you know, blank face. And I think Michael was able to, you know, that's what I want. That's what I want to put on. It's not the exact, because he wouldn't have the exact same mask. I know we make the argument, could you imagine if you had the 78 mask in Halloween 4, it would elevate? Yeah, of course it would. But why would he have... one, I have to believe Michael survived the fire in H2. Okay, so that mask he had on is done. It's toasted.
It's done.
He's not getting it back. Part of me felt like they should have just kept the wraps around him, and he had just made two fucking eyes.
I totally agree. In retrospect,
that would have been fucking creepy as fuck.
In retrospect, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sort of would have had a similar feel to the, you know, you could have played with it in the shadows and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the mask that Michael ultimately finds in Vincent's drugstore at the beginning of 4, when Jamie shot him for a costume, I think to him it's like it's something relatable that he remembers from 78. It looks similar, but it's not the exact same one. And to me, it makes sense from a narrative point of view.
No, I absolutely agree. And when I was younger, I used to think, you know, it's not Michael Myers. And yes, when you compare it to the 78 mask, it's a garbage mask.
Oh, sure.
Because it's the complete opposite of what we believe this character should look like. But if you think of it narratively in the story, it's 10 years later. Of course, you can write it this way, and we would suspend our, you know, disbelief, and everything would be fine and rosy and fine. But I guess, you know, I mean, and it is, and the irony is that the mask in H4 is a Kirk mask. They just didn't tear out. They didn't whiten out the eyebrows. They didn't. It's just the shit they didn't do right. But that being said, yeah, when you think of it, you can justify it by saying it's 10 years later. What are the odds that he's going to find the exact same mask in the store, or in that store? He's going to find just a white mask. And any white face that he sees, he picks it up, he puts it on. There it is.
That's why I think it would have been an interesting approach if they had just done the bandages.
I agree. I agree.
Kind of like a little spin on sack head, not really sack head. But
no, I totally agree. And I actually think the H4 mask is creepy.
It's in the right lighting. In the
right lighting, it's creepy. It's because of where we're coming from that it gets such, it gets the bump. It gets, the shit side of the stick. I mean, it's just, well, that's what it is. You know what I mean? But if that had been the very first mask we had ever seen, this conversation wouldn't be happening.
No, we'd be in a totally different direction.
Totally different direction. Yeah. Todd Fayer sends in a super chat. Thank you, Todd. Says, do you guys think Tom Cruise should do a sequel to Legend? I haven't seen Legend. Have you seen Legend?
I don't think I've seen Legend either. That might have been one of the, and I like Tom Cruise. I'm a big Cruise fan. That might have been one of the, there's been a few like Legend, Samurai, is
the Last Samurai or something like that.
That I didn't see that. There's a few that I have not seen from him in his films that I need to see, and that I think is one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Franklin Stein says, Tony and Dave, for the 13th Friday the 13th film, how about bring back Zombie Pam? Pretend Jason X is last or it didn't happen, but this happens after Freddy versus Jason. Well, I don't like Freddy versus Jason.
We'd be decapitated Zombie Pam.
Yeah.
She loses her head.
No. I mean, listen, for all you people out there that like those kinds of movies, I would never, if that came across my desk as an idea, I'd put it in the trash can. It's just not my style. I would rather go back and tell Pamela's story.
Right.
Go back because it's rich with shit. That's
and
what
it's
I
in
do.
The original Friday film. You watch it, and there's we talked about this before, where the truck driver's driving Annie up to Crystal Lake, and he talks about the events of the boy drowning in 57, the kids dying in 58, the fires being set to the camp in the early 60s and stuff. So there's already a story there, a seed there. It just needs to be watered and groomed and blossomed, and
that's it. Bang on, Tony. There. Yep, bang on.
Yeah, because the only other thing I do with Jason is go back to part 2, pick up from where 2 left off, start with the sack, and eventually lead to the hockey mask, because you obviously want to get to that. It's iconic.
Yeah.
Because where else are you going to go with Jason at this point? I mean, really, where else can you? I mean, you've gone to space, so you not only jumped a fucking shark, you've jumped a whale at this point.
Yeah. A blue whale, by the way.
Blue whale, right. I mean, where do you go?
Yeah. I don't know. I like what Vincent DeSanti is doing, and I don't say that because I consider him a friend.
Never hike alone in the winter.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's cool shit.
I don't say this because I consider him a friend. I don't say this because he's producing Dylan's New Nightmare. I say this even if I had never spoken or met him before in my life. I like what he's doing because he's bringing. He knows the story. He knows the mythology. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it. But when people say, and I mentioned this, I forget, I think it was on my Friday the 13th episode of McRae Live. I said, there's this thing around Friday the 13th, and it's true. It is true. Why is this? Well, obviously now because, it's because of the lawsuit, but why have they made, another, Friday the 13th film? It's so easy. It's just about kids at a camp and you plop, Jason there and you kill them. Yes. I mean, that's part of the root of the DNA. The problem is in today's horror world that has no longevity, and they can't do that anymore. 40 years ago, kids lined up to see that kind of thing 5 times, 6 times, 7 times in a row because it was dare I say, new. It was not, I mean, it wasn't new by, the 90s, but I mean, it was new, and now
that type of slasher.
Yeah. Horror has evolved. The slasher genre is largely a B subgenre now, unless you're bringing back, main players, right? So if you want to bring back Jason, I don't mean you change the DNA of Jason, but if you want to do another series, you want to have longevity, you either make it a series on Netflix or something like that. You turn into like a TV style series, which could be done, or you have to evolve the character and the mythology and what Friday the 13th is. And when you look at what Vince has done, he's keeping it Friday the 13th, but he's adding a layer of maturity to it. He's adding a layer of authenticity to it, but still with the Friday the 13th DNA. And he's picking up from, I forget where he picks up from.
6.
Yeah, it's 6, I think, but I don't remember if 7 or 8 are canon. I'm not sure, but certainly, but you watch Never Hike in the Snow or you watch Never Hike Alone, and there's a maturity to it. It feels legit. It feels mature. It doesn't feel like a campy, cheesy, corny, and it's not that you couldn't or he couldn't add a little bit of that in there, but I like what he's doing, because if you don't do that, if you just have kids at a camp, Jason shows up, you're going to get a one and done film. You're going to get one and done, and it's going to be Friday the 13th, 09 all over again, because there isn't the longevity for that anymore. You need to evolve it. You need to bring it into the 21st century. But it's a fine line. You don't want to ruin the DNA of what Friday is. You just want to bring it, you got to do that, or you're going to get another one, like I said, one and done Friday film, because there isn't the longevity for that. The interest isn't there anymore to watch 5 movies that are the exact same fucking thing. It's just not there anymore. So audiences are more mature. They demand more from that kind of movie. It doesn't mean that it won't do well initially or that it won't have an audience, but I'm thinking long-term appeal. I just don't think it's there. So I think you have to evolve it. And I like what Vince is doing. I think it's smart, Let's see here. Is that all the super chats? No, we have a few here. Cobra Dojo says, $2 super pound, says, Michael Myers won't pick up the mask, just a teaser thing. Well, I actually have information that says the contrary there, Cobra Dojo. So just... there you go.
Sorry.
Dude says, I agree, Dave. The overall Friday plot is wearing thin, though I would definitely miss the campground location. Oh, you can have a campground. You could always have it at a campground. You can have, but it doesn't necessarily, see what Vince has done is that it's not just like, it's evolving Vince's Never Hike in the Snow involves not just the campground, but the woods, the area, the small town, that's maybe situated on the, maybe there's camp, Crystal Lake, but you also have maybe a little town down the street. And then you have, the mountain, not mountains like, the Rocky Mountains, but you have the hills and
legit because the campground where I do my Friday pictures at, where they filmed part 6, up the road from, not when I say up the road, I mean up the road, but the main road that you turn down to drive up to the camp. It's off of the road. Okay. Yeah. Just before you get to the camp, there's a campsite for people to do campers, tents, and whole 9 yards and all that stuff like that. So it is very authentic that out in these, out in the middle of fucking no man's land, there's a campground, there's campsites, and there's people camping in the woods. Like that's what Dave's saying, to piggyback off of that. That's what makes it believable and legit. Especially in New Jersey where this is supposed to take place. Yeah, that's right. You would have snow. Well, you'd have snow, but you'd have it's about what I like what Vince is doing is that he's connecting it to the originals. But it's about story, it's about character. And that's what you gotta do. If you want longevity, if you don't want longevity and you just want Friday the 13th, okay. But the probability is so fucking high that you'll get one movie because it's the same. We've seen it. And I don't understand what you do with Jason in that formula that you, other than changing a little bit of the story, like the
the plot, like in the '09 film, it's about a sister that goes missing, and then the supernatural guy, I forget his name now, he goes and tries to find his sister, and then he comes across Jason, and
Jared Padalecki,
right, exactly. So you have that as sort of the driving plot, but you still have the campground and Jason. But what are you going to do that's different? So basically you're just going to do the '09 film over again, but just in a slightly different way.
Perfect. Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I don't. I mean, because that's what you're going to get. So you're going to remake Friday the 13th again with Jason, but just a little bit different. Like the '09 film, even though it's 11 years ago, the production value and the look of the film still looks modern. So we're going to have another one that's just the same thing, but now instead of a guy who's trying to find his sister, it'll be about kids going to a camp and Jason shows up like, man, like it's fun. I get it. It's fun. But if you want Jason to be around for a while, you've got to evolve. You don't change the DNA, but you got to evolve. You have to. That's my opinion. Let me see here. DMT Infinity says, Dave, where do you see your channel in 10 years if YouTube is still up and going? And will we have an old man McRae on episode 5,000 of McRae Live where you're 80? Much respect. I don't know, man. I have no idea where this show, Two Dudes, is going. I have no idea where my channel is going. I'm just enjoying living in the moment, talking with you guys, having fun, and wherever it goes, it goes.
To be honest, I'm a bit worried with the over censorship that's happening, and I agree with you. I don't even know if Dave and I are going to be able to do the show because Dave and I we talk very off the cuff. We swear, I am not, and I'm not going to be filtered.
Yeah.
And I'm already seeing a bit of the censorship happening to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's definitely an eye opener to where we are going. And I would love for me and Dave to still be doing this 10 years from now, but dude, just the way things are, I don't know how are you, I haven't been on Facebook forever, but has it impacted you at all on Facebook with the censorship and shit?
I rarely post on my personal Facebook page anymore.
No, I mean the page, your fan page.
My fan page? I haven't noticed anything. I don't really post anything too controversial on there, but I will say this, people who are watching who may not know this, every episode of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, after we're done, is not monetized. And the reason why it's not monetized, it's out of my control. Now, it is within my control a little bit, but I refuse based on principle. The reason why our show, the only reason that I can see, that I can justify, it's not because we swear. I swear on McRae Live all the time, and it doesn't matter. It's because we have the word shit in the title of our show. And I put Two Dudes and Some Bullshit as the actual title. I don't put BS. I don't BS or I put like a, percentage sign and a star as if I'm, swearing and I'm being bad. If I did that, maybe the algorithms on YouTube would forgive it, but I refuse because I'm like, no, the name of the fucking show is Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, not Two Dudes and Some BS, not Two Dudes and Some bull beep. No, it's bullshit. That's the name of the show. And if Penn and Teller can have a show that has bullshit in the title, then fuck you, YouTube.
Well, the idea when we were talking about this, when I said to him, how about Two Dudes? And I think it was because shooting the shit. That's like when we talk about.
Yeah, we're just shooting the shit.
When we were kids and this is what we would just bullshit around. And that's where it came from. And it's like, why should we, shorten it to please the algorithm of the YouTube gods because they want us to,
especially over something like
down and like the word bullshit. It's really bullshit. Like,
especially over a word like shit. You know what I mean? Like I can understand if I had like, if it was something horrific like the N word or something, like what the hell are you doing? Right? I get it. I understand it. Shit. So yes, based on principle, I refuse to. And,
but
so
who knows how long we can last?
Who knows how long that's going to happen? It's just, I don't know.
I don't like the direction things are going. I just really don't.
No, I don't. Well, yeah. And I say this all the time on my other shows. I say it's the removal of context and nuance that scares me. It's this not no pun intended, it's this black and whiting everything and there's no shades of gray. And it's like, no, the world is, if we're going to raise children in a world that we teach them everything is black and white, I don't mean I just mean like, things are yes or no.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it because the world is not black and white. It's full of nuance, full of context, full of variables, full of situational things. I mean, we can't do that. And it's incredibly frustrating to see it happening where it's like, God, like they just want to, it's either, 10 out of 10 or 0, or it's, yes or no, or there's no in between anymore. And it's so frightening as a communicator, which is who I am. Long before I was ever doing YouTube, I come from that kind of a family. I'm very good with people. I have I'm good at communicating. I do voiceover for a living, and as a communicator, it's incredibly frustrating to be able to, don't hang on, you got to, don't hang on. And I'm like, listen, as long as I'm not being belligerent on purpose or being mean and cruel to people, I think I can, say the word shit, without somebody going, oh, no, naughty. And it's like, oh, get the fuck out of here. It's get out of here, man. Get out of here. I can't stand that shit anymore. So it's incredibly frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
Yeah. Anyways, we got to go soon here, but the Nightmare Man sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, and by the way, just so you all know, these super chats do go to the channel. Although these shows are not monetized after the fact, that doesn't affect your super chats. Just so you know, it's the ad revenue after the fact, which is unfortunate. But anyway, I mean, but it's not like we're making a lot of money off the channel. I mean, I'm not Rogan here. The Nightmare Man sends in a $5 super chat and says, if H Kills makes 145 million, would that be good? 145 million worldwide or domestic? I think you mean like total, right? Yes. I mean,
it's not going to do that.
Sorry, Tony.
Well, no, I mean, with the lockdowns and looming that we all are hearing about and all the, especially mostly Democratic states for 8 weeks, which is absolutely fucking asinine and absurd. And people are going to lose their jobs and homes and whatever. But I think it's going to trickle into way deep into next year. And Halloween's, all these movies that are scheduled to come out next year are going to be impacted by the looming lockdowns that we're all going to be facing next year.
I think 145 million will be a little bit of a disappointment, but it's because of the bar that's been set. And I think we also have to understand that it was Halloween 2018, with all due respect to Halloween 18, with all due respect to its fans.
Lightning in a bottle.
And I don't say this because I think it's a terrible movie. I don't think it's a terrible movie. I mean, when we look at things objectively, especially when we look at the Halloween films, right? It's not a terrible movie.
No, it's not Resurrection terrible.
No. For me, I think it's a fine, very good modern day slasher movie, but fails mostly for me as a Halloween movie. I've said that many times. It's what they did right. They did really well, which is what made the things they didn't do right or completely missed the beat on that much more frustrating. But I'll say this, Halloween 18 overachieved at the box office. Not because I think it shouldn't because of quality or anything. It's just it had a lot of nostalgia. It had a lot of momentum and weight and a lot of hype. It overachieved. Big time. $250 million at the worldwide box office, highest grossing slasher of all time. I mean, it overachieved. So unfortunately, when you hit a bar like that, when you overachieve, that's great if it's a one and done deal. But if you're doing a sequel, it's like, how do you replicate that? The probability that Halloween Kills, even if the theaters were fine and there was no such thing as COVID, making $250 or $300 million at the worldwide box office, although possible, statistically, we know the probability is in the realm of it not doing that. I think 145 is on the lower end because, obviously the budget I think is around, what's the budget? 30, 40 million, something like that. You got to factor in marketing as well. So, they may break even, maybe.
What do you think their game plan will be for next year if we go knee deep, which I believe we're
streaming.
going to? you think they're going to go streaming?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's good. I mean, it's almost, it's got to the point where, like, I think even Wonder Woman now has announced that they're doing a 2-week release and they're going right to HBO Max.
Yeah. I think it'll go to streaming. And I think it will likely go to maybe Peacock, maybe. Okay. Universal's.
For a minute until they make it available worldwide for everyone, like on.
Yeah. Or they may not. They may make it available for everybody. But I tell you, it would be a smart thing to do for Universal and their streaming platform. That would be smart. I don't know if they'll do it. And who knows? Maybe the thing will be released in theaters and make $500 million at the box. I mean, like, anything's possible. But we talk about probability. Sequels generally, here's where I need people to understand nuance. Generally, doesn't mean it never happens, but generally speaking, sequels don't make as much as their predecessors. They don't. And there's a variety of reasons for that. So the probability that Kills will make $250 million is it's already working against it. It might. But generally speaking, that's not the way it works. I mean, I think they would be very happy if they release it in theaters and it cracked 200 or made 180 or 90. I think that would be a win. 145 might be a little bit of a disappointment. Sub 100 would be a complete disappointment because of where you were at 250.
I mean, if they do release it next year for a brief, I mean, it's going to do it with everything with the restriction. Well, again, restrictions in blue states, because we're going to be in this blue state, red state thing here next year. It's going to be such a shit show because red states are going to stay open and they're going to continue productivity. I mean, look, here's the thing. Do you know I work out in 2 gyms.
Yeah. Just at the same time, he's got his arms over here and he's got his legs over here.
I like change of scenery. I like, you know what I mean? Like,
I understand. Yeah.
Change it up and whatever. Yeah. So, but one gym has a daily traffic flow of 250 and the other gym around 175. Not one case. And they've been open since April, reopened since April. Not one case. My cousin got married. You all saw the pictures last month when I was in Charleston. 200 people at that wedding. Not a single person wore a mask. Not a single person got sick. And that was an age range of 75 years old to down to toddlers at the wedding. So I'm just saying, and I found out that through my arguing with Instagram, I had made a similar comment like that to somebody on Instagram of stating facts of like, well, our gyms in Georgia have been open since April. Right. And this is the traffic, because I asked them what the traffic is in each gym. And I was like, has anyone reported cases? They're like, no, we haven't had one. I'm like, that's really fucking interesting that you guys haven't had one case. Yeah. And I made that comment on Instagram along with my cousin's wedding. And that's when Instagram blacklisted my account.
Fascinating.
They felt that I was providing false, inaccurate information. I'm like, how am I providing inaccurate information on information that was given to me and something that I personally experienced, which was my cousin's wedding, and there were 200 people there and nobody got sick.
Yeah.
So that said a lot to me about what's going on and what they're doing to us.
Yeah. I understand.
And they're saying that that's what falls out of their guidelines.
Well, I
put my account on the shadow ban. What's happening.
I'm fairly certain. Now, whether you want to, there's 2 different sides. You can believe in what's going on. You can believe it's a conspiracy. You can believe, I don't want to talk about that today, but I will say that I am fully convinced that we're going up here in Toronto and in the province of Ontario. We're going to be going into another lockdown, 100%. Like, you can see it, and the officials, the Premier of Ontario, which is like the governor of a state, but they can't just do it. These things have to be rolled out in phases, right? But you can see it. The number of cases is on the rise, thankfully, because the production of It's Me, Billy, acts officially within the film industry as a business, and we're employing, 17 people. We're allowed to, at the moment, to run as scheduled. We have to follow, obviously, certain protocols and stuff. But I've been talking to Bruce, and we think that we'll be able to slip It's Me, Billy in right under the radar, and then come like the middle of December or something.
They're going to hit you guys with a shutdown.
They're going to shut it down.
I got to tell you, I was worried, man, because I'm starting to see our blue states shut down and overreact and cancel Thanksgiving. We're having 50 people for Thanksgiving. We're like, fuck you!
And I can see it. I can totally see it happening. And I said to Bruce, please, for the love of fucking God, let's just get through next week you know, and if you want to I mean, obviously I don't want it shut down. I'm sick of this like we all are. But if in my mind, I'm like, it's a little, you know, selfish. I'm like, if you're going to shut it down, can you just wait till after November 30th? You know, look, because then we'll be done, you know?
I'm not saying COVID isn't legit. I'm saying it's not what we're being told.
Oh, there's a lot of weird information. There's a lot of weird information.
It's that what I said was a fluke. You can't say that two different gyms in two different locations with that type of traffic on a daily basis going in and out of these gyms since April, that not one person caught the case. Okay. And then you're going to tell me also my cousin's wedding, which was in South Carolina, not in Georgia. Okay. About 6-hour drive from here. 200 people go to this wedding from different areas of the country, not just from Charleston. Okay. And nobody got sick. I'm not saying there isn't a virus. I'm just saying the way they're telling us that we're supposedly contracting this, fucking bullshit.
Well, and I do
bullshit.
I do know
it's
that
a legit virus, but I think shady shit is fucking happening.
Well, yeah, things don't add up, and I know WHO, the World Health Organization, which is an organization that, you know, there's a whole other thing there, but I do know that people have. Early on, governments and local officials were saying, well, we're following what the WHO says, and whatever the WHO says, we're going to do because they're the official body and blah, blah, blah. Well, now and for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken, and I do stand to be corrected, but I believe the WHO has even said, let's not lock things down because making things worse by crippling the economy is not the answer. So and I believe that came from the WHO, if I'm not mistaken. So if that's true, which I agree, I think there's got to be a better way. Well, now they're no longer listening to the WHO. So,
let me tell you something, folks. Okay, as a World War II buff, look up shit that the early days before they became who they became. Look at the shit that the Nazis were doing in Germany before the Holocaust shit and the concentration camps were happening. Like, look at the stuff that they were mandating in Germany. And then look at the comparisons of what's happening right now in certain states across I'll just say, if you do your research, okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you do your research and you read the shit that the Germans were doing, you're going to see a lot of fucking similarities going on. And it's just not right. And, you know, like I said, I'm not saying the virus isn't real, but I'm telling you right now, nobody in these gyms that I work out at wear a mask. None. I'm saying none. Nobody.
Fascinating.
Okay? And
it's not mandatory in the gym? It's not mandatory in the gym?
Nope.
Fascinating.
Nope. I live in a red state for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
For now, yeah.
Georgia's like in a fucking weird limbo right now. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen. But nobody wears a mask. And like I said, nobody wore a mask at my cousin's wedding. And nobody got sick. Nobody caught anything. And I understand people can use the argument of asymptomatic, but when you're talking about a wedding, when there's, like I said, there's elderly people. When you're talking about gyms, both gyms, there's elderly people in there that go in there to walk on the treadmill and do their little, like my mom's group of people, they do their little aerobic thingies, whatever you call that shit. You know what I mean? And nobody's catching
Suzanne
anything.
Summers Thigh Master?
Yeah, no, that type of shit. Well, no, that type of shit. No, I'm saying, I mean,
I understand.
Our gyms have a wide age group. It's not
I get it.
Working out. And
I get it.
Here's the thing. If your vision is mainstream media and that's all you watch, look, I get it, man. I've seen some of their videos. Yeah, your world is fucking terrifying. I totally understand that. And I sympathize with you because if you were to just take those binoculars off and just step back, look around you. My sister's an RN. She's a nurse. She's on the front line of the shit. I talk to her all the time. Their hospitals are not packed with this. Grady Memorial in Atlanta, okay? It's one of the biggest fucking hospitals. They're not packed with cases. Yes, they get people in there that, you know, with cases. Yes, it's happened, but not to the fucking level that the mainstream media is trying to portray it. So if your vision is just what the mainstream media is telling you and nothing else, yeah, you live in a fucking terrifying world. But if you were to just take a deep breath, step back, and just fact find and get the information yourself, you would realize, like, yeah, they're trying to tell me 2 + 2 = 5, but no. You know what I mean? Like, shit ain't just fucking adding up.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
I hope they don't shut you down, man. I like I keep hoping, like, please don't, like, he's so fucking close.
I know.
Like,
And
you're so fucking close. Please don't shut Toronto down, dude. That will just blow.
yeah, I know. It's so close. So close. And
now, I mean, between you and the chat room, will you go under the radar?
no, we can't. We can't actually. Legally, we can't because we're. I mean,
you're renting a place.
Well, it's not just that. All of our gear is rented by a professional distribution house.
You can't even.
So if they shut down, like I mean, White's is. I mean,
White's is a camera thing. That's not a racist comment. By the way.
No. White's is the. Well, no, it's William F. White International, which is Canada's largest distributor for lighting and grip gear. And they also have a camera department as well. And this is what, I mean, if they shut down, then even the movie, The Man from Toronto, which, Kevin Hart is in town right now shooting, it shuts down. Everybody shuts down.
That sucks.
So we can't. I mean, we are considered a professional production. So it's if they pull the plug.
I'm telling you, dude. I was thinking about that today because I keep hearing like Washington, Oregon, California, New York, Chicago.
Yeah.
All these fucking Democratic-run cities. Sorry, I mean it's legit. I mean when you look at it, it's the blue states shutting down, the red states are staying open. That's how it's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are very blue up there, and I'm like, I just keep thinking they're gonna shut down Toronto, and he can't do this. I just got this weird fucking feeling like that's where they're fucking heading towards because
we're
your
already
boy there, your boy Trudeau.
We're color coded now, so we're now in the red zone, which is the last zone before lockdown. So I'm hoping that we can get through the next couple of weeks before they lock it down, because they're going to lock it down. They will. I know they will. 100%. There's no doubt about it. They're like, well, we're doing everything we can. No, you're going to fucking lock it down. I know you will. I just hope you don't do it until after November 30th and we can have the movie done and in post-production. That's what I hope. And I think we're going to do it.
I hope not.
I think we're going to do it.
You guys have put so much work into it. I mean, going back to just raising the fucking money to to be right there, 1 yard line. You know what I mean? You're literally, you're on the one fucking yard line.
Dude.
All you got to do is give the ball to Fridge, and Fridge is going through the line, and that's 100%, a bad reference because the Bears beat the Patriots in that Super Bowl. But
it's true. And
you're right there.
We had a crew meeting on Saturday. We had a cast meeting on yesterday. And I think Victoria, obviously, who's playing Sam, who's playing the granddaughter of Jess, she has her hair appointment booked tomorrow. She's getting her hair, all back to, dark brunette and the whole thing. And I think she's got the appointment. And we're full gear. Like we're on the 1 yard line. It's crunch time. Everybody's gearing up. Everybody's getting ready to shoot this movie next week. I mean, it's Me, Billy is next week.
Even if you're in the middle of production and they shut down, you have to shut down.
No, if as of right now, what White's is doing and because they're connected with a lot of the productions that are going on in LA and New York and whatnot. What's happening so far is that if you are already in production, you don't have to shut down. You are able to proceed and finish. If you have yet to start production and they need to lock it down, then there's a delay. So hopefully we can get to, if we can get to Friday. Okay, well, no, I was going to say Friday, but that's just the day that we're loading everything up in the trucks.
You know what we have going
we have to get to Sunday morning.
You don't have a holiday. I think they're doing this intentionally because they're trying to fucking on Thanksgiving.
Maybe.
So whatever.
We have to get to this Sunday morning, the 16-foot cube trucks. There's one for camera because, I mean, this is, you need a truck for camera because there's all sorts of cases for lenses it's a lot of stuff. When you're shooting on the Hollywood cameras. And so there's a truck for camera and there's a truck for lighting and grip. We're picking them up at 6:30 a.m. So as long as we can get, I'm telling you, when those trucks leave the grounds,
Dave's gonna go fucking Vin Diesel, Fast and the Furious.
That's right. I'm not driving one of the trucks.
quarter by a mile for the next fucking 45 minutes to an hour drive doing 150.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting set up so they can't shut it down.
Yeah. Just let's go. Get out. Go, go, go.
Exactly.
You know?
Fucking no red lights.
Yeah. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going.
Fuck traffic.
Where the fuck is he going? Just go. Just go.
Literally go. All you have to do is get one person there with a camera, right? And get it up and going and you're good, right?
Well, we need the lights too.
Should send someone there with just a fucking point and shoot DSLR.
Oh no!
And just get it set up so that you can say technically you started.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man. Like, it would suck.
Yeah,
you put all this fucking work.
But we still need that gear. So, but yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a very intense week next week. We have such a great crew, and I'm so honored to work with the people I'm about to work with, and I can't
wait, man. I'm excited for you guys. I can't wait to see the finished product.
Yeah. Well, it's
here. It's hard to believe that we're here. You know that
we're here.
You're not we, but you.
No, I know what you mean. No, man. I mean, you've been a big part of this. You've helped. You know, a lot. You know, with the funds and the shows we've done and there's a lot of people that are you're all a part of this. I mean,
everybody who contributed and
everybody is a part of this. You know, and if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be making the movie we're making now. I mean, there's no guarantees you're going to like what we make. I mean, that's all in the eye of the beholder. But I can tell you that we've worked very hard to create the next chapter in the Black Christmas story. And again, it's a short film. You have to remember that it's not a feature-length film. That would cost us much more money.
Any chance of getting it for Christmas?
I think you'll get. If all goes well, we should have a teaser for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, a teaser. Not the movie. No, you won't have the movie. The movie won't be till next year. But we should be able to get a teaser for Christmas. But, you know, some people have asked me, you know, what I think somebody said, how come it costs $60,000? I shot a feature-length movie for $20,000. And I said, well, because of the equipment we're renting. You know, I could shoot a feature-length movie on my fucking phone. But let's just put it this way. The camera we're using,
people do that shit,
and Tony knows this. The camera we're using is worth.
Oh, I was geeking out on your post the other day. The cameras you were showing, I'm like,
just the camera, folks. Yes, just the camera package, and I stand to be corrected. It might be I might be off a little bit, but just our camera package is worth $500,000. That is the replacement value.
And you're using fixed lens, right? Prime. I'm sorry, Prime.
Master Primes. Yeah. Master Primes, which are the top in the world in terms of cinematic.
Good shit.
Yeah, like we have lenses that are worth like fucking $60,000.
I was gonna say more than my Camaro.
Yeah,
like that's like legit.
It's the legit. Like they shot the Joker on the shit that we're shooting on, and that's why. Now, obviously, we're not spending $500,000. That's the replacement value of these things, right? But that's also why we have production insurance. Is because if anything was to happen, I think we have $2 million in production insurance or something like that. So we're covered. But it's crazy. It's crazy, and we're like. We're going full tilt. I mean, we are shooting a professional film. It's a short film, but it's balls to the wall, you know, and the crew we have is great. The actors are great. The only thing that if I was worried about something would be something that every director and producer is worried about. And that's time, coming in on time and in on budget. And we have to come in on time. It's about a 23-page script. So we have 23 pages to shoot in 6 days. And you might think, well, that's easy. Well, it's easy if you're just pointing and shooting. Yes. But when you have jibs and cranes and, you know, dolly track and I mean, there's a lot of, but that's why you have a crew, you know, and so it's, I think we're going to be able to get
paid, by the way.
Yes, crew's getting paid, cast getting paid. Yep, absolutely. You know, there's production insurance and hotels and craft services. We have the whole week is getting catered and
it's nuances when people throw out like I've done it for 20,000 or you can do a feature film for 5,000. I mean.
You do a feature film for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, every production budget is going to be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Depends on your needs.
I have the same argument with people on Instagram. Well, why can't you introduce more characters? Because it fucking costs money to fucking get these costumes made. And, you know, I mean,
yeah.
I've been barely scraping, floating above water with my photography career. If we lock down,
yep,
I may in fact lose my fucking business from this shit because I barely survived the first lockdown. If we go into a second one, I'm toast. I'm done.
Yeah.
And everything that I've worked hard for 2 decades is literally fucking hanging by a fucking thread right now, and it fucking terrifies me to see what 2021 is going to bring. And I have to have these fucking arguments with people like, why can't you bring in art decline? And like, this shit fucking costs money, man, to fucking make costumes and whatnot. And it's not, if you want to do it right, and like when I do my photo shoots, I want to do it right. And this is on a smaller scale than what Dave's doing on his movie. It costs money to have these fuckers make this shit for me. It ain't cheap.
Everything costs money.
That are making it.
Right. And we do have a shooting schedule, so we know what we're shooting on what days and how much time is allotted to shoot that. And Bruce and I have had many conversations where we've said, we have to get this within this time frame, and we just have no choice. And part of the reason why we have no choice is because the location's 4.5 hours away, and when you are shooting on the equipment we're shooting on, you can't just go out and do reshoots. Like, I can't go and reshoot something on a DSLR because the quality's not going to match. No. We're shooting on cinematic cameras. So we'd have to rent the area again, and it's 4.5 hours away, and we'd have to get all the crew again, and we'd have to get the actors again, and so reshoots is basically not an option.
Damn, 4.5 hours away.
4.5 hours away, yeah. But it's a great location. You guys are gonna love it. But it's so it's the kind of thing where we have to be on our toes as directors. We have to be on our toes, and we have to set a pace for the week. I mean, we don't want to rush through anything, but we've had conversations about how, we're going to set a pace, a nice, consistent pace where hopefully we can get through those things, because the last thing we want to do is to be falling behind. We want to, if we get ahead and we have some time to spare, well, that's great. Then maybe we can get that extra angle, or maybe we can get that extra shot we thought we weren't going to. Great. But we want to be mindful of that. And will there be some shots that we just probably won't be able to get? Probably. Will there be some, I don't think there'll be scenes, but will there be some shots within those scenes that we may have to axe because of time?
Yeah, so you can't even really do pickups. You've got to nail everything like on. You got to go like Carpenter and Dean Cundy and fucking Tommy Lee Wallace. You get everything on there and no pickups.
It's why we've hired the people we've hired, and it's why our DP, like I said, he's a pro. He's been in the business for 20-something years.
It's for those who don't know what pickups is like if they didn't get something the way they wanted and they had to go back, and it's another word for reshoots. I guess is
and we don't even have the time to do pickups or reshoots while we're there, because it's eating into the time that we need. Like we don't. And I can tell you, because this isn't a spoiler, but I can tell you, first 2 days are day shoots. Last 4 days are overnight shoots. So
the night shoots are going to be fun.
Night shoots are going to be fun. Going to be tough, but it's going to be fun. And there's a 24-hour turnaround time, before we do that. So we'll be having breakfast at probably 4 in the afternoon, and then dinner at 10, and then, lunch at 10, and then dinner at 5 in the morning or something like that, but
still though, night shoots are a blast, man. I those are my favorite photo shoots to do at night. It's just the night atmosphere when you're doing a horror theme, anything, you just get into the mood of it. I do anyways.
Yeah. It's we've never been more prepared for anything in our life, and in my life in terms of a project. And it's it. I mean, we are prepared, and Bruce and I are on the same page. There's some things will obviously. We're trying to be on the same page as much as possible. We're definitely on the same page in terms of tone, execution, mood, atmosphere, all that kind of stuff. We're on the same page with that. And now it comes down to things like angles and shots. I might imagine Victoria sitting over here like this, and Bruce maybe imagines her kind of sitting like this, or and those are the things that I'm getting together with him on Wednesday, and we're going to kind of go through that so we can be on as much of the same page as possible. And it's tough. I mean, this is it's a $60,000 movie, and it's and it's we're doing it, and it's going to be tight, man. But
most importantly, man, don't forget one very important aspect to it: have fucking fun.
Exactly. Oh, exactly.
Have fun making it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
enjoy the
that
process.
You've worked for.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know it's a lot, but just try to embrace it when you're there. Cause I know what it's like when you get caught up on a shoot and, sometimes you lose and your thought process, cause you've got a million fucking things going on and you forget man, just enjoy it. If you can,
You're bang on, because it's that thing where, and that's part of the reason why I would like to, I want to set a pace, because if we're falling behind, nobody's going to be enjoying anything. Because we're going to be in this perpetual state of trying to play catch up. And then we might have to cut scenes or shots, or, and does that make sense if we cut that, or, does it feel weird, or, and we don't want to do that. So, we got to do what we got to do, and it's got to be a consistent pace. But yes, you're right. We want to have fun. We want to have fun making this. And of course there will be behind the scenes stuff. There'll be a behind the scenes featurette on the Blu-ray.
Dave farting on set.
I'll be farting on set, and all that. I will probably be. I don't know if there's going to be a McRae Live tomorrow. I'll let you know probably tomorrow morning. Friday, I know there won't be, because that's load up day. And then Thursday maybe, and then the next week and all next week I won't be on the channel here. I'll be shooting the movie. If you follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, you will get updates from time to time, not every second of every day, because I'm shooting a movie. But maybe at the end of the day, when we've wrapped for the day or something, I might post a little behind the scenes something that might be kind of fun, or maybe a little video, who knows. But yeah, it will be largely quiet, doors closed, lights out for the channel for that week, for the most part. So it's, but I have all you guys to thank. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this. You guys helped bring Billy back, and
back.
Yes, and by the way, before I let you go,
you got about like 5 or 6 super.
Yes, I want to get to those too. I also want to say that we have started to package up the Christmas ornaments from Lynn Griffin. Of course, Lynn played Claire in the original Black Christmas, the one with the bag overhead. She was kind enough to sign some Christmas ornaments for people for the campaign. So she helped out with the campaign, which is great. Thank you, Lynn. If you're watching, you're amazing. I met Lynn downtown Toronto about a month or so ago to receive the ornaments, and I've started the process of packaging them up. So just know that once the shoot is all done and we move into post-production, that's when we'll start to actually get the t-shirts ready and all the things we can get ready that isn't the Blu-ray. Because for those of you that ordered the Blu-ray, unfortunately you won't get the Blu-ray till the movie's done, because obviously we have to have the movie done before you can get the Blu-ray. But the other things like shirts and hats and posters and all that kind of stuff, we can get that stuff. We can start that process after the movie is shot. And of course, early in the new year, January, Tony and I will be starting to fulfill the 2 dudes perks too, and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yep. And the 2 guys that won the prints, I've been in touch with them, with the printing company. Right now, I'm looking at January 2021, according to them.
Perfect.
So, that's according to them, and then they could change, because if everything goes back into lockdown, I could be looking at middle. But thankfully, Todd and the other dude has been really cool about it. They know it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do. Cool. So once everything's back up and running again, I'll be able to hook you guys up and take care of you guys.
Perfect. That's awesome, Tony.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Super chat from Cobra Dojo says, I love your standalone vids. They cheer me up. Well, that's good, Cobra. Thank you. David Lee Barron says, Spider-Man 2 better than Spider-Man 1. Haven't seen them in a while, but I like.
Are you talking about the Sam Raimi's?
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, there's 3 Spider-Man 2 Sam Raimi's. Then there's the Andrew Garfield one, and then there's
I would say the
Tom Holland one.
I think it's the Raimi ones. I would say I like them both. I haven't seen them in a while though. Nightmare Man says, what if a flashback shows Michael being handcuffed? It's not something I would like. Not something I would like. Kevin Bacon's Boner says it's me Boner sequel. Thanks, dudes.
Boner sequel.
Well, let's just put it this way. I can't say anything, obviously, but hypothetically, if there was to be a sequel to, and I don't, and this isn't a spoiler. I'm not giving. I am actually talking hypothetically here. If there was to be a sequel to It's Me, Billy, the bar's been set. So, 60,000, we'd probably have to ask for more because
that's a tall order.
It is, because we'd want to also, having done this once, you learn a lot, right? And you learn about a lot of things. And I think we'd want to add some extra shooting days, and we'd want to maybe add, maybe a second camera, or we learn a lot that way. So definitely I know that I could see, if there was, I could see going from 60 to 100,000 maybe, or something like that, but we'll see.
Steep.
And
that is steep.
It's doable though. It's doable.
It is.
But it all rides on whether people like the first one.
I'm in deep.
Yeah, I'm in deep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, vacation. I'm in deep. I'm in deep. Last super chat of the night, David Coe, thanks. Buddy says, Tony, breaks my heart to hear about artists like yourself during lockdowns. Yeah, I hear you. Anything we in the community can do? Could we purchase some of your awesome pics, for example?
I would love to, but there's a legal thing. I don't own the rights to the characters, unfortunately.
That's the only problem,
so
yeah.
I would get in serious fucking trouble. That's a big copyright. When studios reopen, whenever that may be, I've been trying to go through the red tape process of being able to legally do that, and finding out what I need to do to have the rights to be able to sell my pictures. But right now I can't. And yeah, unfortunately, if we get locked down again, that's it. I mean, there's no relief fund for us because I'm a privately owned business, and I'll lose my business, and I have no clue what I'm going to do next year if that happens.
It's true.
So trying not to think about that right now. I'm already stressing about it as
now you're starting to stress me, and I'm like, oh God. Yeah. Hey folks, that's gonna do it for Tony and I here on episode 91 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. I want to thank my moderators, of course, Frank Riker, Tap of the Short, Darren Sands, for doing what you guys do. Thank you to all the super chats that came in today. Thank you to the non-super chats that came in today. I may be back tomorrow morning. I may not be. It's crunch time now, guys. We will see. But thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Two Dudes and Some Bullshit will not be back.
We'll be back in December.
In December. Right? About essentially 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today? 3 weeks today.
3 weeks.
3 weeks today.
On that one.
Yeah, I am. 3 weeks today. And so it's a little break, but I promise you, hopefully it'll be worth it. Tony, any last things you want to say?
No, man, I wish you guys, everybody on the project for It's Me, Billy, the best of luck. Knock it out of the park. I can't wait to see like everybody else, man. It's going to be some good shit.
It's going to be some great shit. Oh, it definitely will be some great shit.
I'm going to send the good vibes from my red state up to Canada so that you guys don't get shut down for another 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, Tony. And thanks everybody in the chat. Alrighty, that'll do it for us. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.